Yes, people, welcome, 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 and welcome to another Blue Morning Show. Again, a good morning, a good afternoon, good evening, but more importantly, blue morning to you because, of course, it is the Blue Morning Show. I hope everyone is doing well. But first of all, I have to say, calm down. I know we haven't signed any notable name yet, though we've signed like 100 goalkeepers. But believe me, the club are well and truly at work, hard working behind the scenes or under the radar, if you prefer. We have quite a few things to talk about today, but more importantly, we're going to talk about the links to Raheem Sterling. We're going to compare Raheem Sterling to Jules Kounde. And if, in fact, Arsenal ends up getting Gabriel Jesus, we're going to compare Raheem Sterling versus Gabriel Jesus and decide whether they're getting the better player or whether we getting the better player. And then we'll talk about Ousmane Dembele's case and a whole lot of other stuff. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, before we continue, I'd like to, appeal to the mods because it's going to be really crazy in the chat. A lot of people, you're going to be hearing quite a lot of negative nonsense or negative stuff. And again, people have every right to express their feeling, to express that, their disappointment, at the club, because it's only natural. They feel like the club should have by now signed like 100 players. So it's understandable. It is all because they love the club. So I want you to please understand that they feel the way they feel because deep down they truly do love the club. So don't, just calm down a bit. I think they will calm down too. Just give them time. So as usual, we're going to start by going through what we already have in the chat. For sure, we already have quite a lot of people there watching. So let's see what's going on there already. The queen of all streams herself is already in the party, and she says, let's party, babes. Get the likes loaded. Yeah, keep liking the video, right? And people, right now we have 16 likes. Keep liking the video, and let's keep going. Let's shoot for 3,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Says it's harder to be a queen when you're a bear. I understand. I know you're going to crack me up today. Again, I know you usually don't like it when people are too negative about the club, but the truth is they have the right to be so. They expect the club to be signing players left and right. And because they truly do love the club, they get frustrated. So I want you to calm down a bit, be patient with them, give them time to come to terms that it's going to take time. It's hair thing. I get it. Imagine the amount of condition I need. Yeah, I know. As a girl, it's only natural. And again, Quinn, I want to say thank you very much for the donation. You know how I feel about that, but it's okay. If you feel like doing it, it's your choice. But thank you. I cannot thank you enough. And thank you for 3,000 subscribers. And if you're watching, please just keep liking the video. Like I've told you before, again, I'd rather you like the videos than even donate to the channel because the more you like the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and the more the stream will be pushed to more people who would be interested in the topic we're discussing. And again, the more fun it will be and the more people will subscribe. So please keep liking the video, like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The Queen says, talk, don't walk, loves. Yeah, I understand. Boss would say, don't need to, but I disagree. Have to help Chelsea channel. Again, I appreciate that. If you're not a Chelsea, please be nice. Yes, again, if you're visiting, be nice. Don't troll. I know the mods will understand Chelsea fans who are simply frustrated. But if you're visiting, be careful what you say so you don't get banned. Spend too much time holding back. I've taken the chains off. Yep, anybody that trolls Chelsea here, they're going to get it. 11th to like, you're near the relegation range. Liam Lane. Liam, how are you doing, brother? I hope things are good on your end. He says, Blue Morning Street Beer. You are on fire this morning, ready to rock and roll. Yeah, she is. I'm seeing that. Hi, Tobago, says Liam Lane. Liam, how are you doing? Again, Tobago says, how are you? Again, please look forward to the launch of Tobago's YouTube channel. Street Beer says, yeah, babes, hi, Liam. Okay, just saying, again, I put a Leicester. I went from 20th to like yesterday to first to like today. Yeah, exactly. So you won the league. And by the way, people, go check out Tytuk's YouTube channel and please do subscribe and let him know I sent you. Good at Tobago. And you, let me see, yeah, I spelling yep. Again, your phone tries to help you spell. You know how that is. Opinion is rock. Spam is blocked. Yep, I know. I just wanted to see TT get the players he needs and don't care who they are. So that keeps me out of any argument over we should and we shouldn't get. I have learned that from my experience. Again, that's the point. We've all clamored for the club to sign Thomas Tuchel. And at this point, you could argue there's no chance, you know, that they haven't signed him the player he wants. You should know that. They're not talking to the players he wants. Again, you should know that already. Even Fabrizio Romano did make a video saying that Chelsea and dormant, that Chelsea are well and truly at work behind the scenes, and they're talking to quite a lot of players. And he's quite sure that you know, very soon that you know, the floodgate will open, like somebody did put it, and you will see the players will start coming in. The moment it starts open, you will see. Keep looking at the scrolls behind the pictures here. You will see a tweet that says the moment the floodgate opens, a lot of players will start coming to Chelsea. But the only thing is, the truth is there will be a lot of surprises. I'm quite sure, if you ask me, that the club is currently looking at players we don't even suspect they're looking at. And that may well be the case, but we'll see what happens. Again, the point is Chelsea are already talking to players. But I think the main frustration of the Chelsea fans are just they don't know what's going on. That's how I want to see it. Sergio Ba says, good morning, coach. My brother watching from Trinidad and Tobago. Nice to see you here, brother. I hope you're doing well. Again, saying, Sergio, are you from Tini? Yeah, he already says it's there. We have to come down. Chelsea will sign players. That was the truth of Benitez. And thank you for kindly saying that. We will love. Please subscribe. It's Chelsea Love. Yes, keep liking the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, Tobago, I want to come to you. And again, I want to start with the regular question, you know. Tell me, you know, are you frustrated or you're on the fence? You're not sure how to feel, given you could argue that the club haven't signed any notable names, because if you argue that we haven't signed anybody, that's a lie, because we've signed like around 3 players or 2. But that's, by the way, we're looking for players who's going to come and join the senior team where we have a problem. So, Tobago, let me know how you feel. How you feeling, brother? You concerned?
No, I'm not concerned. I'm patient. And remember, we are talking about this almost every day. There's no way Chelsea are not doing any work behind the scene. Even yesterday, Fabrizio Romano made a video about it. Said Chelsea have plans. Chelsea fans need to be patient. There's no way Chelsea won't back to Tuchel, especially like you can see, like we don't have defenders. We need a DM and stuff. But again, I'm patient.
Yeah, I'm patient too. Again, I've never been concerned. Again, I joked with my brother Fahim on his channel that I'm concerned, and I started doing the outsting and the nonsense. But the truth is, I am not concerned. Again, this is a transition period, first of all, and we have a new owner who will most definitely, most likely, want to make a statement. And he said it. That is, if the rumors are true. Even if it isn't true, it's only natural that he tries, you know, to make a statement, to start off very well. You understand my comment right now. So I don't understand why people are concerned that he's, you know, someone's already saying ball it out. For what? I just don't understand. like somebody argued, let the man get in his office first of all before you start doing the out thing. It just doesn't make sense. Phantom, I'm coming to you. Let me know, are you concerned or are you confident that something is going on behind the scene? And have you seen Fabrizio Romano's video where he says that Chelsea are well and truly at work behind the scenes and they will sign a lot of players, but they just following things step by step. With the priority right now, as he said, will be to sort out things they have within before they move forward. But to me, again, I don't believe that. I still think they're talking to players right now and probably are on the verge of signing a few of them, you know.
I have more confidence in Todd Boehly than I did in Roman Abramovich. Roman Abramovich was not patient enough. He wanted to just win right away. Over the years, I've seen that the way that you put together a team is not to buy a bunch of people who don't fit together, and then just because they're the most expensive players around doesn't mean you necessarily win a championship. For example, Paris Saint-Germain, right? Paris Saint-Germain buys the most expensive players, Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, but they don't have any team chemistry. Todd Boehly is a man who takes his time to put together pieces that work together, because that's what he did with the Dodgers. That's all we know about Todd Boehly is what he did with the Dodgers. And he did not try to win the Premier League, the Champions League, every league in his first league, in his first season over there. It took 5 seasons for him to build a world-class winning team that right now the Dodgers are the #1 team in baseball again. They lost in the semifinal last year, and then they won the World Series the year before that. So I have more confidence in Todd Boehly, and I'm not going to judge him on the second or third week of the English window. The international window hasn't even opened yet. That opens on July 1st. So we wouldn't even be able to sign Kounde even if we could today, or sign what's his Delight?
Delete.
Yeah, I mean, other than Rice, we wouldn't have been able to sign anybody at this point that we're targeting. So, and maybe, the price is still too high for Rice, or maybe Tuchel doesn't like Rice. I don't know what the thing is with Rice, but other than Rice, that's the only person we could have signed today. So to say Todd Boehly out is way, way, way too early. And I don't think he's concerned about the fans who are reactive, or, the people like Bobby's Smoke Signals. He may be saying, hey, Todd Boehly needs to, get the show on the road. But this is off season. There's no tickets being sold. So I think in Todd Boehly's mind, it would be like, well, who cares if you don't believe in me yet, because the season hasn't even started. It's not like, and besides, a person like Bobby is going to support the team either way. That's not the people he needs to win over, because Bobby Smoke Signals is a person who is loyal to Chelsea through and through. So is Nick Blue. So is True Blue. So is all you people. I'm the swinger. I'm the swing vote. I'm the one who either stays or leaves Chelsea based upon success or not. And I'm not even worried that Todd Boehly is a success, because he is proving to be a huge success in the Major League Baseball. And you had no idea what the Dodgers looked like under McCourt. It was horrible. McCourt now owns a team in France called the Marseille team. And Marseille is imploding, right? So I'm not afraid that Todd Boehly is not going to make it, because Todd Boehly is a winner. He's a self-made millionaire. And, everything he touches turns to gold. So I'm not worried. And I'm not expecting. Last season, I had a different expectation for Chelsea. Last season, I thought that Lukaku was the last missing piece to get us the Premier League win, the Champions League win. I was talking about treble. I was talking about quad. But this season, Champions League finish, I'd consider it par for the course, because this is the first year that Todd Boehly's come up. Let's give Tuchel a chance to build his team that he wants. Anyone other than Dembele he can have. But So let's give Mr. Tuchel a chance. Let's give this guy a chance. You know, I think that Roman Abramovich probably may have even fired Thomas Tuchel after this year for this week showing, because he certainly did that too. Who was the coach who won the Champions League for us in 2012 and was fired the next season? Was it Di Matteo?
Di Matteo, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, so it's not out of the question that Roman might have fired Tuchel after this quote unquote disastrous season where he only got us third place or whatever. So,
here's what, I think where I was concerned that there's a chance he lost his job will come down to the Romelu Lukaku, conundrum, if you prefer, because there were arguments that it all comes down to how he approaches the game. And Roman always, he hasn't been the one, to for you to prove, like a manager, prove that, okay, he made a mistake by, signing a particular player. It has happened on occasions. I think we even had the Blue Morning show where we talked about where the topic was why Thomas Tuchel may lose his job. And the argument was that if Lukaku stays and he doesn't start firing on all cylinders after spending 150 million, I think, euros or pounds to get him, and you're telling me it's not going to work. Although he didn't come out and say that, he's pretending he's trying his best to get it to work, but really he doesn't like having Lukaku on the bench. That's one of the reasons why I think he would have lost his job, if you ask me. But that's, by the way, I'm going to try and catch up with the chat. And I see Matt there. Matt says, Blue morning to you too, Matt. I hope you're doing it well. Says, two watching, 18 likes. Right now, I think we have more than 18 likes right now. We have 22 likes. People, please keep liking the video. The more you like the video, the more people will be able to reach. And please go check out Matt's YouTube channel, Zvolley YouTube channel, and make sure to subscribe. Liam Len says, hi, Matt, ZV Genius. Yep, that's his name. Keep saying it. And he says, we're now interested in Ike. We'll talk about that. I think we'll talk about just, deep dive into Twitter. Look at what those influencers are saying. Analyze their comments, and debunk what we believe is, because some of them are absolute nonsense, or you could say ridiculous. Again, I just not what looking at. But one lesson to learn from all those ridiculous, stuff coming out there, it's not just to believe that the club really is looking at any particular player until you see the player holding the shirt, taking a picture with Marina or Thomas Tuchel, or putting the pen to paper, or you see an announcement on the club's website. That's how I see it. Again, it says, good morning. Again, this is as people are exchanging greetings. Bali is getting the squad contract started first, which is a good thing. And again, they could be doing both at the same time, and we just don't know. I just don't understand what the panic is all about. Roman wouldn't have, for any reason, okayed the sale of the club to Todd Bowley and the Clear Lake Consortium if he doesn't believe they keep winning. And Bowley himself understands the importance of winning. And to win, he must understand that right now they need to be looking at signings. And I think they're well and truly at it. Behind the scenes, they don't have to tell you who they're looking at. And the good thing I like under the reign of Bowley is this: I don't think they're spending for the sake of it. Like my brother here, Phantom of Money Topics, already says, he works with data. And Thomas Tuchel is a numbers person too. They'll probably be looking at every player carefully, not just to throw money at the problem, and at the end of the day, it won't work. So just calm down, people. We will be all right. And I'm going to say that a zillion times again. This is just greetings in what mathematics philosophy or something like that. I'm not sure what the Queen of all Streams is talking about.
I can answer that. The formula in baseball is called sabermetrics. This is something that was developed by the Oakland A's in the early 21st century, and Billy Beane was the first general manager to do that. And Todd Bowley is definitely on board with that kind of principle. He is not looking at stardom because, okay, here's the thing with sabermetrics. Okay, you buy a star, it doesn't work out, the star becomes not a star. If you buy the right player who is not a star, he becomes the star. So he's not worried about the sensation of the star signing, or to even prove to the Chelsea fans that he will do a big signing. He will do the value signing, the right signing, the signing that will get us to win, regardless of whether it's a big headline or not. You know, if there's someone who is cheaper than Declan Rice, then he'll go get Declan Rice. I mean, the other player that's cheaper. If he goes and finds a better value than Kounde, then he'll sign the other player rather than Kounde. He's not going to sign Dembele or try to get in a Neymar just because it's a big name, or a Robin Lewandowski because it's a big name. If we get Robin Lewandowski, it's because Tuchel thinks that he can work with Lewandowski to get him to score goals, not because Robert Lewandowski is a big name. We already have. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, we already have the big name to get the American audience, Christian Pulisic. The English market is pretty stable. It's not like we're going to rob a lot of fans from Arsenal or Tottenham or Liverpool or somewhere else. The fans are already loyal to who they are. It's a pretty, what we call an inelastic market in the UK. I mean, the fans are who the fans are. The Liverpool fans are not going to come over just because Todd Bowley bought the team. So the opportunity here he's talking about is to get the fans in America, in Canada, in, I don't know, Saudi Arabia, in China, in Indonesia, in Australia, people to be watching English football, to expand the market there, not expand the market in England. It's a fully saturated market already.
Yeah, again, here's one thing. The only thing I want, I'm not going to judge him right now. The only thing I want somebody to quickly tell him is stop referencing Liverpool whenever he's talking about what he's going to do at Chelsea. You know, just find a way to tell us that without mentioning us copying Liverpool.
No, it's not copying Liverpool. It's copying.
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm just talking about him. I've watched the interview. It's not about you. I've watched his interviews. He clearly says. Yeah. Go ahead, Phantom.
I'm saying FSG has the winning model with the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox won one World Series in like 90 years. And then in the past 20 years, they've won like 3 or 4. So, I mean, that's
my point is, I understand what you're saying. I wasn't talking about you. My point is, I am not concerned now. And I'm not going to say anything bad about Bowley at this point. I think Roman looked at the whole, options and then picked them for a reason. And what I want to say is this, what I was saying is just the only thing I'm concerned about right now is him always referencing Liverpool, saying if you look at the Liverpool module, he shouldn't be saying that. Again, the rivalry, the rule of the rivalry means we're not copying them. We shouldn't say we're copying them.
My question is, why wouldn't we copy them? Then they're very
even if you're copying them, it's just an unwritten rule. Because of the rivalry. You get what I'm saying right now. He should just stop saying that. But that's, by the way, I get your point, brother. Bobby, welcome to the panel. Let us know how you feel at this point, because we usually like to start with that.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm highly distracted, so I don't know how long I'm going to be on. I'll do.
Okay, it looks like you're at work.
Yeah, there's a lot going on at the moment. Big up to the guys on the panel. Coach, you've got to understand that Phantom of Many Topics is an American, and their view, as are you, but I think you've got some other sort of background that makes you have more of the football loyalty side of things. Phantom is a fan, but he's a fan, as you know what I mean. That's why I like the guy so much, because he really intrigues me with his approach. Anyway, that's aside. That's not a criticism, by the way, Phantom. Please don't get upset with me. It's just a fond observation. Let's put it that way. Guys, listen. Am I still on?
You're on. You're on. I'm hearing you.
I don't know how far you've got in the program. I just heard a lot of analytical things about FSG and so on and so forth. Look, what's beginning to irritate me about Todd Bowley and the Clear Lake Capital Group is football primarily is entertainment. If you look at how certainly English football started, it was the escape route for the working man after an oppressive week, he would put some coins together and go to his local team and be entertained and cheer them on. The loyalty was unquestionable because everybody supported your local, the area you came from, the area you were born in. And that is the basic principle of what football is about. When I go to watch a movie, I go to enjoy the movie. Yes, the information is there. Yes, we understand that the Hollywood or wherever the movie was made, the directors and so on, work to a certain budget. They're making certain profits so they can make another movie. Wow, great, whoopee-doo. But I'm there for the movie. It's just like Chelsea fans. We're there for the win. Yes, we know you've got to do this, you've got to make profits and that. Great. You bought the club, that's why you're there. But primarily, let's see the win. So all this strategic talk is good, but without bringing in players and things that really is what the fans are interested in, you're just winding them up. And the only thing I took from what he said, actually, it wasn't even him, it was Fabrizio Romano, is the sanctions have delayed Chelsea as it is. They've come into a club. I'm sure that Clear Lake Capital and Todd Bowley are really, I don't know if I can say the word pissed. They're really upset because they've come in and their first priority is to clean up Marina Granovskaya's mess. Lukaku, dead wood, contracts not signed. That's why they can't sign anything. They're trying to see the wood from the trees and try and see how to rein in this disorganized chaos. Chelsea's boardroom is in absolute chaos. And if we're going to talk finances and talk organization, I really wish we could talk accountability and not shy away from it out of sentiment. These guys have messed up and they've made the work for Bowley and co 10 times more difficult because until they can see the wood from the trees, they can't even set up a proper financial model. And that's what's wasting time in the transfer market. They're spending half the time trying to sort Lukaku out and sort out contracts and get rid of dead wood. We're talking of buying players. Look at all the players we've got that are dead wood. Is anybody going to buy them? In this financial market, it's a headache. That's the reality of the situation. So if we want to talk strategy and economics, that has to come into it. Ultimately, football's entertainment, and all that backroom stuff, is by the by.
Thank you very much for that. Declan, your thoughts, are you concerned? We always like to start with that because given the situation we're facing right now, majority or many of the Chelsea fans, I can't say majority because I don't have the numbers. Many Chelsea fans are concerned and lots of complaints, and some a minority starting the hashtag Volley Out. Your thoughts, let us know where you are on the fence, or are you concerned, or you think you still have hopes that things will happen?
Well, big up everyone. It's great.
Yeah, big up to you too. How are you doing?
Yeah, very quite sleepless because your channel's now like 24/7, and it's like Sky News, and I gotta watch it all. And can't get sleep because it's always on.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I think it's very necessary that you did it too, because there is panic station like no tomorrow, and I'm glad Bob. And I was going to bring up the same points as what Bobby just said at the end. Before we sign anyone, more importantly is to recontract the players that need a new contract. That is more important than signing anyone. There's no point of signing someone knowing that you're going to lose someone. Do you know what I mean? Because that could throw a wrench in your story. If Jorginho and Kante do not want to stay, and you just went and spent all your transfer budget on different areas, and now all of a sudden you need midfielders, then what do you do? So the club doesn't have an idea on how to approach the transfer window without knowing who's going to stay or who's not going to stay. Getting Lukaku out is a big signing in itself. Priority to get him out because of how much he costs, because probably the influence he has in the dressing room. They're major factors. So you can see that there's a lot of news that's getting done. Reece James, Mount, Mendy all need new contracts. Once you solidify, and then Jorginho and Kante as well, you have to know what's going on there. Now, I'm sure Reece James, Mount, Mendy will get done. We can all be confident about that. But Jorginho and Kante is a question mark. We don't know. And if all of a sudden they don't want to sign, now a midfield position adds to the transfer budget as well, and what we're going to do, or do we have to sell Kante? So everyone just wants to see a signing, but there's more important things going on than signings at the moment. So I think that all their resources being spread, they're all doing. I think that I have the hope, like I said last time, that they're all working hard to get all this done. And I think, and I don't think that we're going to go into a season without like many transfers, because everyone's so panicked and they just want to hear one signing. But what's everyone's expectations? What is everyone's expectation on how many signings we're meant to do to be content? Because the way people are panicking is like, if we don't do one now, then we're not going to get much, many in. If anyone looks back, I think it was the Lampard season that no one really expected transfers, and then there was almost like one every week.
Yep, it was like 8 in total.
Yeah, it was insane. The how quick it happened. It didn't happen straight away, but in the middle of the transfer window, it was just going bang, bang, bang with just signings, and it was happening every week. And so signings just because we're not hearing much, not to say there's nothing happening in the background. So signings can happen very quick. So that's why I'm confident we can still get players very quick. People are just panicking that they think if we don't get one now, then that doesn't leave time to get another one. I just think that I just want to see Lukaku out, like I said, first. And then to know what's happening with Kante and Jorginho, because we've had massive debates, remember, about Rice, Busuma, Tchouameni, they're all gone. Does it leave a lot of options? Some people saw it like that. But also, which youth player takes which position? Because we're not building a first 11, we're building a 25-man squad. Also, you guys mentioned Deadwood. Barkley, he's probably going to leave. But in this season, with the World Cup in the middle and 5 subs, the squad, if you're on the bench, you're going to get good game time with 5 subs. Someone sitting on the bench is actually going to get good game time. So I believe this stage is seeing who's going to stay, getting rid of, or seeing who's going to stay and who's not going to stay, basically. Mm-hmm. Having the preseason, giving a chance for some of the players, Gallagher, even if I don't even know if Cho's back are going to make it to preseason, but give some of the youth players, some of the low knees, to see who can fill up some positions and who doesn't, and then you can get a good idea of which maybe youth players you can promote to be deft, and then which ones to buy, and then they can really focus on that. But really, that's a question mark at the moment, because none of that stuff was done while the club was being under sanctions and didn't know who the owner was going to be. So yes, we're starting late in the transfer window, but we should finish strong. And if not,
that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it could be, and people won't like it, but maybe we might have to write off the season in a season of mostly youth then, if that's the case. If it's that bad of a situation, right, that what I said can't be done in a transfer window, then we might have to just fill in a lot of the space with some of our youth players. It's almost like a Lampard season, right? We might not do that well, But what might happen is players might prop up and take some positions, and then we can go hard the next season. But no one wants to see that. I don't mind that because I don't think we're winning this season. We're winning the league next year.
So overall, you're not concerned.
I'm not concerned because of those priorities. I still believe, and I'll probably be the most upset out of it if it doesn't happen, that we'll finish the transfer season strong.
Yeah, just like Fabrizio Romano said, that Chelsea are really working behind the scene, and they're just trying to sort out some things, within the club. It's before looking outside. But we'll get to where I asked the question whether Lukaku's, delay in Lukaku's move to Inter Milan is an issue. We'll get to that in a bit. I'm going to try and catch up with the chat, and thank you for that great input right there. And apologies, I thought I had sent the link to you, actually. Ali says the only real problem I see with these stats-driven buying, does the algorithm take into account the different leagues? That raises where I think that's a good point there, because it doesn't really. But maybe it doesn't. It's simple. Let me just say that it doesn't take that into account, the differences in the league and in what league the player is moving from and the league he's going to. That's a serious factor to consider. So that makes it makes sense. Again, I've seen that. Says to emulate Liverpool's success, we need a better scout and team and director of football. Again, good point there by Damien Duff. The algorithm works in baseball due to only being one league. Not only just one league. I think it would be difficult to argue that one state plays faster and the other one plays slower. I think it's nearly the same approach everywhere you go. But that's, by the way, it says common humans say, yeah, keep liking the video, people. Right now we have 30 likes and we have 76 people. It was 80 before. We have around 80 people watching and we have just 30 likes. We can do better than that. Please keep liking the video. Again, the likes do go a long way for the channel. And again, I want to say thank you for 3,000 likes. We're shooting for 4,000 likes, and I hope we get there as soon as possible. So keep liking the video. And if anybody asks you to pay, tell them the queen of the house, Just Viola, and the queen of all streams, Stribia, had already paid for you. It takes just a second. Click and you're done. Says, baby, let's go. Yeah, let's go. ITM. It looks like this is your first time here. So if you haven't, please take a second to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that. Are we talking about football? Yeah, we're talking about football. We're talking about soccer too. Yeah, both. Yeah, good one there. Again, you can be right back, Coffee. Okay, I'm surprised it's not a beer today. I'm sorry, Phantom. I love you, but Pulisic is unhappy at Chelsea and could be sold. Nationality isn't going to get in the way of anyone that wants to leave. Todd has no issue.
I want to answer that.
Marketing and revenue. Okay, just quickly, please.
Just quickly. Ty, I'm not trying to keep Pulisic. I don't care if he goes.
Okay, Ty, you get your answer.
I didn't hear what he said.
You heard him, right? Again.
No, I did not.
I said I don't care if Pulisic goes.
It's as simple as that.
That is not what it doesn't matter.
Deals CFC says, big up Coachella and the panel. These journalists are doing whatever they can do to put out there, because nothing is happening. Like, I think it was Bobby that said, once there's Chelsea in the write-up or in the content, it gets a lot of clicks. So they always find a way to make sure Chelsea is part of the stories they're telling. Again, I agree with you. Blue morning from my brother CFC Fahim. Please go check out CFC Fahim's YouTube channel. Check out his content and do subscribe if you like what you see there. Again, says big up the chat. Big up to you, to Damien Duff. If we're going to stick with the back three, which is more likely to happen, the question would be, will he switch it up? That's the question we should be asking. But the fact remains, I think he'd play that formation most of the time. Okay, let me see. I think Tobago may have an update for us. I'll reach out to him in a bit. Let me see, where did I stop? I'm far too behind, so I'm going to skip quite a few. Oh, we're here again. Lukaku was romance a choice. Yeah, we know. I know that, and I know There's a lot of sort of
That is
situation, Bobby.
false. That is false.
Hold on first. Hold on. I'm coming, Ty. There's a lot to sort out a situation. Bobby is right about that. We should be putting transfers first, trying to get rid of the dead wood and buying. Again, you can do. If you ask me, I'd argue you can do both or all simultaneously. I think the club has the resources to do so. Ty, what were you saying?
I was saying that was false. That Roman wanted Lukaku. It's the wrong Abramovich. It was his son that wanted him. He wanted Haaland, and Haaland wasn't feasible, so they went for Lukaku because his son recommended Lukaku. It wasn't that he wanted him. He wanted Haaland. Couldn't get him. Because don't forget, there was reports saying that he had spoken to Haaland, trying to tell him that if he works under Tuchel, he could help him and he could aid in his career. So it's not that Roman wanted him; it was that his son wanted him, and because they wanted a striker for Tuchel, they opted to go for Lukaku, who was doing good at that time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Big up, Coachella says the Queen of the House. Big up to you too. Nice to see you around. I do hope you're doing well. Says good morning, afternoon, and evening. I have one question and one question only. Has Lukaku left the club? Okay, the simple answer is no, but the club are at it. The player wants to leave. I think you could argue the club wants him to leave and the manager wants him to leave. Again, that's how I see it. I'm not sure. No, I haven't spoken with to the manager or any of this. Coachella, when does this Spanish league transfer window open? I am not sure. I'm not. That's something I'm not acquainted to. Wait, also, I don't know how better to phrase it, but I don't know when that is going to happen. You want 4,000 likes, Coachella. Did I say that again? But by the way, again, we have 83 people watching and we have just 36 likes. Please keep liking the video. I'd rather you like the video than you donate to the channel because the likes do more for the channel than the donations. But I appreciate every donations though. It's still a bit early here for a beer, coach. Okay, now I get it. Let me see anything else. I think I'm going to skip quite a few, so I'll be all caught up. I'll go to the bottom. Question to all chat. Okay, read it. It says, when you move into a new home, what's the first thing you do? You clean up, get things to be the way you want them to be. It's as simple as that. Says, this Chelsea new owners not encouraging with their, attitude. That's a word I had to try to pronounce, by the way. Again, calm down, people. I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and if I miss your comment, apologies. I'll try to catch up with whatever you add to. No, Ty, Roman sent Akaide to talk to Lukaku. I don't make false statements. Again, here's the thing about anybody's statement.
When was that? That was August.
And Ty didn't say you made a false statement. He said it the way he see it. None of us were there. None of us went with Roman's son. None of us were there, and Roman says, Akaide, okay, you go talk to Lukaku. So everybody, we're all entitled to our opinions. We say whatever we hear out there.
I wasn't saying that what he said was false. I'm just saying
you don't have to. Yeah, that's by the way. Luis Campos joined.
Am I the only one that thinks that sounds far-fetched? That Roman sent his son?
No, it's not far-fetched. I'm just saying, but no,
why isn't it far-fetched? What does Roman's son know?
That's the thing. What does he? Again, that's the whole thing.
You don't know his career path, though. You don't know his career path.
What is it?
Yeah. Okay, Luis Campos joined PSG. I don't know. Let me quickly catch up.
Sorry. Go on.
Let me quickly catch up with the chat. Luis Campos joined the PSG. I don't know if there's a better deal available. Hopefully, we don't end up getting another bomb. Like, again, name calling is one thing I don't like here. Just so you don't have to use the name, add bomb to it, something like that. I am really scared that Chelsea will not be able to compete with Liverpool and Manchester City. Calm down. Again, calm down. I've told you that a zillion times. Calm down. We'll be all right. La Liga transfer window opens July 1st, closes September 1st. Okay, thank you very much for that. And deals CFC July the 1st opens. Okay. Thank you. Declan, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, look, when I read that story, it was just one of those made up random rumors that keep making it like someone's you know, someone knows someone's dog, this neighbor, someone's looking for a new house. That there was nothing around, and there's never been anything around Roman sending his son to negotiate and talk. You know, I read the same thing, and I was just put my hands up and going like, what does his son know? What, like, if he was just representing Roman, there's nothing Roman can't do over a phone. Or Granite Sky's already, Marino's already doing that for him anyway. So sending his son, he sent his son. There was no pictures or anything, his son in Italy or something to really base that off. Someone just made it up. And it just, like, to me it sounds far-fetched. And for people to get onto it and use that as a continued argument, I mean, you got to look at his son. His son has never done negotiation. We don't even know if his son, like Ty said, we don't know his career path. We don't know anything. It just it was far-fetched story, and I can't believe like people are still using that.
Don't worry, all the information around his signing will come out after he leaves. That's normally what happens. So just wait until he leaves, you'll find out exactly what happened.
Anybody else on the panel want to add to what we're talking about before I jump to things we want to look at? All right, looks like the Right Honorable Kogi says to compete for a league title, we have to be better at managing a league campaign. Isn't it all? Okay, we sign mentality produces consistency and all that. Okay, says you would think some people think they are running the club the way they talk. just leave the board to do what they have to, and have some patience. They only bought the club 3 weeks ago, and there's a chance the man hasn't even gone to his office. Says, I have no desire to indulge the club in discussion. Okay, that's you. That's fine. Morning Tribune, we Chelsea fans in Ghana, we're confused about the transfers. Some names pop up, nothing positive. Please give us an update. Again, we'll get into it in a bit. Again, what we've taught our followers here is to calm down. Don't believe in anything you read. Don't you do yourself a world of good. Yes, exactly, just calm down. Again, if you don't, if you learn not to believe in everything you see out there, your life will do better. You worry less, believe me. Just calm down until you see. You can follow the stories quite all right, and and try to make sense of it. Put 2 and 2 together and see, is this really possible? Or if you're here with us, we can help you say, okay, this isn't really possible. This may well be the truth. But if you have to, learn not to believe in everything you see out there, so you don't stress yourself to death. Just calm down. Everything will be all right. And until you see an announcement from the club, don't believe it, okay? There's news on Raheem Sterling. Yeah, I'm seeing quite a lot of that, and we'll get into it a bit. So thank you for that update there. So there's quite a lot to catch up with. Let me see if there's anything to read. Don, I'm going to skip quite a few here. We will sign up players that one I know for sure, no rush. That is Spita FX. Thank you very much for that delicious comment. There's no need to worry at all. Again, it says, MJ Sterling comment, man, English runner. Again, that's your argument. Be cool, African. Yeah, there was a picture of Roman's son, Lukaku. Lukaku. Yeah, that probably may well, but I will get into it. I don't want to get into that argument right now. Again, I'm not saying anybody is lying. We all are entitled to our opinion. Some people will say, well, he met him, they took a picture. Some will say, yes, that means he sent his son to go talk to him. And there's a chance that's the truth. So, again, that's not really what we're here to talk about. Really don't want Sterling. Again, that's you. If the manager wants him and we want the manager backed, give the manager the player he wants. Yes, there's news about Sterling, quite a lot of them. What we want and what we expect, both you can say, and what will happen, I want to say, it's quite two different things. Absolutely, Chelsea are confident of closing the deal for Manchester City's Raheem Sterling. A transfer could cost around 35. 35 isn't bad, but we'll see what we have here. Okay, let me see. It says, Beat the Wolf. Let me say, Lee says, for those of you who haven't in the link True Blue put up, Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich, who's fan of Romelu Lukaku and would love to sign him yep, we knew that the signing was okayed by Roman. He was the one that wanted the player at the club. So the individuals are having an argument whether he sent his son or not, and I don't want to be part of it. Again, if you want to read what True Blue sent, the link is in the chat. Please go check it out, and you guys should sort out your arguments you have independently. And as long as it's allowed, we can agree to disagree. Why do City and Liverpool finish 90 plus points? Because of mentality. They can grind results even on off day. Again, Chelsea cannot do that currently, but we're working on it. We'll get there. If you want a Kounde, wing back, and all this, and I think I'm going to skip quite a few and get to the bottom. If anything comes that is worth addressing, then we will do so. Now, let's come back to the panel, and we'll start with what we have here, the tweets, and we'll look at them one by one and try to make sense with them. Then we'll come back with what we have specifically scheduled to be discussed today. Bobby, I'm going to start with you on this one. Your thoughts on the club being linked with Nathan Ake?
Complete garbage, coach. Total nonsense. And if they did, then I'll be seeing that this club wants to court mediocrity.
Well, why do you say that?
Nathan Ake is a player that could barely get into Man City's team. He's okay, he's good. He has some utility qualities, actually. He can do a job in CDM. That's something to consider. But would I have him at Chelsea? Is that what we are looking for? We're looking for real top quality replacements. We want to go the next step up, not to languish in the same position or even go down. So Nathan Ake, with every respect to him, he's a Chelsea Academy lad, but he's not what we need right now, unless they're looking to get him into a CDM position. But then we've got Ampadu, who is younger. We're developing better, hopefully. I don't see the sense in Nathan Ake. This is just a perfect example, as we've been saying, journalists trying to, get their clickbait out there. They are as anxious as we are, but for different reasons. They want the Chelsea stories. We want the Chelsea development, improvement. And so they're waiting. I got a lot of rest of mind yesterday. By the way, good job, Coachella. I think the way you've been running this channel, 24/7, I know Declared was saying, wow, this guy's always on. And, I said last night, wow, this guy is on. You had something going on. Man, you're working really hard. And that's part of the reason I've taken time out to be here, because I think you need the Chelsea community to get behind you. I'm not in it for any other reason. I just see a very hardworking man, a man that supports the club, a man that puts out content there, gets the fan club engaged, and actually you're doing something for the mental health. I've said this to other content makers in the past, for the mental health of our fan base, because you'll be surprised, how much this really gets at people. So really well done, you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
But
go ahead.
Aside, coming back to what the media is doing, they're just looking for clickbait. Right now the club is, as Declared said, I would also like to believe what he said, and Fabrizio Romano said, these guys are working round the clock. They're trying to get deals done. They're trying to sign up contracts for current players. They're trying to get rid of players. There's a lot of work to do. The club's strategy was a mess. It's a miracle that we are where we are, to be honest. It had no direction, no plan, no plot. Now, I have openly blamed Marina, but she's not totally to blame. There were people like Bruce Buck who could have taken hold of the reins a bit and tried to get the right people in to make the right decisions. The only reason Peter Cech is getting away with things is, one, I'm not sure anybody knows what he's doing there or what his job is there, and two, he's a Chelsea legend. And with that, you can commit a multitude of sins. and Chelsea fans will never, never, ever turn against you. So I'm not going down that road. I wish they'll find him a job where he can be effective. Can he be the director of football? I don't know. Probably. I don't know. I'm not sure from current performance, but he needs a greater relevance, if you know what I mean. He needs something to be given more of an image, because, you know, people like Czech, they are Chelsea. So I don't want to get them into that boardroom picture, but boy, does that boardroom need shaking up, because that's what these guys are doing. They have a mammoth amount of work to do. And my prayer is they get it done this summer, because it seems quite unlikely. And that's where I have concerns about the signings, because as Declared rightly said, you can't, you know, you've got to see the wood from the trees. You don't know what to bring in if you're not really sure of what you've got, what, you know, where the actual gaps are. There are some obvious gaps, but there are also hidden gaps. And I think preseason is going to help, but sorting out contracts, getting rid of deadwood and people like Lukaku who are deadwood is going to be huge.
Yeah, because the fact is, we failed to realize from the beginning that it's important that we sell some players because before we bring in some players. But I think if you ask me, I'd say the club does have the resources to carry out those things simultaneously. But I think they're playing itself. They don't want anybody to know who they're talking to, because I think I've learned over time. I followed this game long enough to know. So in some cases, clubs don't look at players until they hear that a certain club is looking at that player, which means you know they take advantage of the scouting work of the other club. So there are clubs that are not paying attention to, but until they hear one club is looking at it, they go, "Oh, this is actually an option for us." So I think that's the case.
I totally agree. If I can just add this to it, you know. These guys are smart, and we are Chelsea. You know, we are Chelsea Football Club. We have unique challenges in the transfer market, as do Man United, as do City because of their money, as do Liverpool, even Tottenham, Arsenal, maybe for various other reasons. But certainly Chelsea, we've got to be political in our transfer dealings. We've got to sometimes pretend to be going one way while we're really going the other. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of kidology, a lot of propaganda, a lot of, you know, mimicking, a lot of waiting to see what target you're going for, then we'll go after this target, that sort of thing. So we've got to, sometimes it's even an advantage to give an appearance of chaos, because then nobody can really get hold of what you're doing. So I get it. I really get it. I mean, look what's going on with Barcelona. Nearly every man and his dog is linked to Barcelona. I think part of that is an overplay by their propaganda machine, but their propaganda machine has gone into overdrive to sustain their relevance, because in reality, Barcelona's financial picture right now is perilous. They are in deep trouble. So forget all this Dembele, Lewandowski. That, you know, they will strategize and maybe throw in a lot of finances on certain players for their relevance and face value, but in reality, they can't afford what the media is saying they can afford. I think if you find that you're in competition for a player with Barcelona, you should actually start putting your feet up, because although it is a lovely, you know, Spain is a lovely sunny place to play your football, the league is not that demanding. The wages, well, they were in the past very high. The tax pressures, they're there, but not excessively. You know, there's every incentive to go there. And of course, Barcelona has a good name. But right now, there's no competition for any club with the resources, as you say. And honestly, you know, if they're going for one player and you really want that player, you can easily blow them out the water.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to quickly catch up with the chat, and then I'll come back to the panel. Just be patient with me. I'll be as quick as possible. Demi Dove says we already have players in Ampadu Colwell no sense with signing Aki. That's a good argument right there. And before signing Aki, what position do we have in mind? I'm not sure, really. I think he likes play on the right-hand side, correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm not sure if it's primarily left-footed or right-footed, but we'll find out. Again, if you argue, I'd say he wasn't good enough for Chelsea, and that's why under Conte, he didn't get the chance to even, be integrated into the team, and he had to leave. Man City signed him, and if they let him go, that's a sign he's not good enough. The case of Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus is a different thing altogether, because the reason they want to leave, if you ask me, you could argue, comes down to the manager trying to mix it up or come next season, or maybe to try a different approach to the game. Says MKZ Star says that Tuchel likes Dumfries and Aki clearly likes a Dutch style of football. That is, in fact, if it is the truth. That is if what we're hearing, if those things are the truth, but there's no way to tell if they are. Again, he can jump. Babes. We had the chance to buy him back from Burnley, and we didn't. So, yes, you're right, Bobby. Why should we be going? That shows we don't trust him. But again, one thing we must bring into context is this. What if Thomas Tuchel likes him? And we've all clamored for the club to support him. That's where we have a problem. We've clamored for the club to support him, if in fact, but there's no way to tell if that's the truth. If in fact Thomas Tuchel wants him, we can't stop it from happening. Okay? So, but that's, by the way, says breaking news, CFC News Space, Chelsea could get Raheem Sterling for 35 million. If we can get him for that price, because you can argue he is at his prime, it's an absolute steal. But we'll see. We'll get to that.
Coach, I'm so sorry. I really need to say something that I should have said right at the start of the
Go ahead.
In fact, my son just reminded me now. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the house. You guys are special guys, and don't you ever let anybody tell you otherwise. I don't know if it's that in America, but in Britain, it's Father's Day today.
No, it is. I think it is in America, but I've gotten even Melina. Yeah, I think so. She sent me a message on Twitter. And again, shame on me for not starting with that. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. So, Bobby, thank you so much to all the fathers in the house, in the chat, wherever you are, whoever is watching. If you're a father, happy Father's Day to you. I enjoy talking about football. I enjoy researching, but more importantly, I enjoy being a father. It's never easy because my kids are all just 5 down. Three of them. It's the most difficult thing to deal with, but still, I enjoy it. So thank you very much, Bobby. I sincerely do appreciate that. That's not easy to remember. Thank you. Says most have been locked up in the hospital. Again. Didn't buy Aki when we had a buyback. Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, exactly. So why should we go for him? Aki, very underrated in the second year at City. Whenever he's been called on, he's smashed it. Again, that doesn't mean we should go for him. But let me again reiterate this. If the manager wants him, you may well see him back at Chelsea. But how much are we going to pay for him? I don't know. Chelsea the Kingslayer says, Ampadu can probably do the same job or even better. I'm going to add to it, even better than Aki. So if we have Aki, still have Aki in our ranks, why are we even bothering about going for Aki since we have Ampadu, who's able to actually fulfill the DM role very well? But that's, by the way, that's me. Again, that's my argument. Says, what's this guy talking about? Who are you talking about? Let me know. I want to understand. Chelsea the Kingslayer, no, probably he can do the job and maybe even better. Yep, I'm saying that about Ampadu. Again, we need to get Kounde before the Spanish League transfer window opens July 1st because Barca are going to spend. Does that, because the Spanish window isn't open yet, does that mean Barca cannot sign him? I think I'm not going to think about that right now. People like Bruce Buck, not the deal of not departed. Okay, let's see anything to talk about here. We find out what Dembele is going to choose. Again, there's no telling whether that defines his choice or nothing. Our team will take shape. No panic buys. I'd rather have another episode of utilizing youngsters as we did when we had no choice and implementing transfer Tuchel once. And be strategic with our signings. Again, I'm going to go back to the panel. Ty,
no. Let me speak because I'm gonna go. So you can.
Okay, was that why you were raising your hands? I don't know. All right, go ahead.
I want Soonsup Bell up. I want to give him a chance. I want to give Harvey Vale a chance. I want to give Lewis Hall a chance. I want to see these people in
two of those need
preseason.
to go on loan.
Ty, let him finish.
I want to see them in preseason, and I want to give them a chance to these three to make the team. I want these three to have the same Mason Mount chance to make the team. So I want to see them in preseason. As far as what we get in the transfer window, I'm not so much about who I want as far as who I don't want. I don't want Dembele. I don't want Jesus, or however you say his name. And I don't want Sterling. Sterling is just another Werner. He's not clinical. He's going to miss. And it's just going to be Werner all over again. And I don't want that. So those are the people I do want and I don't want. Thank you for letting me on. I didn't like this stream. I like the automatic stream that you had. I was third to like. I saw that Ty was first to like on this stream as well. Actually, I did like the stream already because I was fourth to like this stream and third to like the stream, but Ty was first place in both streams. So congratulations.
So in both, you're making it to the Champions League.
I'm Champions League material, and I just hope Fulham, makes it in the top half of the season. But other than that, I'm not expecting Chelsea to win this year like I was last year. I thought last year Lukaku was going to be the finishing crown jewel of the finals that makes us the super quad team, the best Chelsea team ever. But this year I have no expectation like that. It's more like that Lampard season, where they first hired Lampard and we were frozen and I'm just hoping to make Champions League, but even if we just only make Europa's League, I'd be really happy with that this season. That's how low my expectations are, because I know Todd Bowley is not someone who's going to bring you the super championships in the first round, because he didn't do that for the Dodgers either. Okay, thank you everybody. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for finding time to join us. So anybody on the panel, Ty, your thoughts on the links with to Net and Aki?
I was trying to say that people want to say that we had the chance to buy him back when he was at Bournemouth. Yeah, that's true, but that wasn't under Tuchel. And people need to remember that at that very time, there's a different manager then you had Lampard. So the thing is, if I'm not mistaken, he signed for them 2 seasons. Maybe 2 seasons ago. And Tuchel came in January, so it's not like he would have gotten the opportunity to say that, oh, you have a buyback on him. I like this player, let's buy him. If he wants him, then he has a plan for him. But I think it's Liam Lane who said it. All of us, all of our preferences, we all have players that we'd like to see come to the club. But at the end of the day, we have little to no power compared to the head coach and the board and the people that are responsible with running the club and not running into the ground. So for me, I think Ake is a good player. He has the ability that possibly attracts Tuchel. I know it's not everybody's favorite. He's not one of the most ideal ones that I have. But at the end of the day, if Tuchel sees him as a player that he can bring in and do the job that he demands from his defenders and demands from the players that play on that side, then all I can do is if it's the case, then just back him and hope that it's the case. That's if we get him. And you asked about Ake, but with Sterling and news coming out about Sterling, it was a case where Tuchel believes that these players can do what he wants, and he has an expectation that they'll do what he wants them to do. If they come in, then all I can do is back him, because it's not like I can protest and say no, don't buy this player, don't buy this player. I mean, you can have your preferences, but in the day, it's down to who the manager thinks is the most ideal signing.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Again, it all comes down to what the manager wants. Again, fans, the way people actually talk about it, say, I want this player at Chelsea, I want this player at Chelsea. In most cases, you see a fan name like almost 10 million players he wants the club to sign. It all comes down to what the manager wants. So yes, and again, you did explain it quite well. It was under another manager that really, we had the chance to buy him, but we didn't. But if Thomas Tuchel wanted me, we may well end up having him at the club. But there's no chance to tell whether what we're reading there is actually is in fact the truth. There's no telling. It says the right honourable says we are 9 days into the window, and the club has just installed new ownership. These things take time. The window is open until September. And that I'd like to reference an analogy by someone who says, when you move into a new house, I think it's Max from Button Ballers, what do you do first? You try to make it your own. You try to, make it the way it will be so that you feel at home. But that's, by the way, the Queen of All Stream says we have 103 people watching. And boys and girls, get a hold, it's free. Keep liking the video, people. We still have just 46 likes. Again, keep liking the video if you haven't. The likes do quite a lot. The likes do go a long way for the channel. And if you haven't, please take a second to subscribe. It is free. Nothing. We don't ask you to donate anything. Ron and CFC says, according to Ditmas, your Sterling will be available for 35 million, and that will be an absolute steal for me. But we'll get into Sterling that is in detail later in the show. Says, how much does the director of football cost? I don't know. Office people have no transfer window, so we'll see what's going on here. I think I'll skip quite a few here. Again, I'll get to the bottom again. If I missed your comment, my apologies. Says, anyone else like me in the chat that thinks Aki looks so much like Ruud Gullit? That's not a lie.
Yes, and they're from the same country too. I always said that, especially when they're here. I always said they look alike.
Yeah, that's not a lie. Have you seen the latest Sterling news for 35 million? I think I've seen it. That it's a bargain. Yep, that's the truth. And again, please keep liking the video. We'll now have 53 likes. That's not easy. And if you haven't, take a second to subscribe to the channel. It's free. Right now, we actually have 101 people watching, so we can do better than 53 likes. I am not entitled. I celebrated any win like a title win. I celebrated OCS comeback goal. Okay, Boris 7-2. Okay. Let me see. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers on here. Thank you very much for saying that, Just Viola. Thank you very much. Make all your kiddos blue. Yeah. I have a problem because I asked them intentionally, what club do you like? And the one that's just 2+, said Liverpool. And I thought he was joking. I asked 3 times. He repeated it. I said, okay, I'll ask the question another day. And I wanted to make a video where I was asking them that question. I said, I'm not going to do this to myself. But that's, by the way.
Something went wrong. Please try again.
Let's see again. Anything here? I missed that link. While okay. Again, coming back to the panel, declare quickly your thoughts on the links to, Netanyahu.
Every transfer season since he left, we've been linked to him. It's never failed that we don't get a link from Netanyahu. It's just here again, and it's even more because we actually need defenders. And you guys did bring up that we did have a buy clause on him. We didn't buy him. I mean, if we're going to entertain this, maybe City are having a bit of a fire sale. Maybe they're trying to balance books after, Grealish and Haaland, 2 massive signings, probably throwing their books out of the work. And maybe they have to get rid of people. That's why we probably hear about Sterling, Jesus. I think, was Silva meant to go? I think Gundogan's gone. I think they're just trying to balance books and try bringing players. So maybe Netanyahu, he's a big bar player for him, and maybe they're trying to get him off the books. And maybe he could be a cheap buy on the market. Maybe not for us, maybe for another Premier League club. But if it works out for Chelsea, and how he can be some of use in his versatility, because that does favour the system, then maybe in some way, if we're entertaining it, it could happen, and it could be a good deal. It could be cheap, and it could actually work out. But like I said, realistically though, we've been linked to Aki every year. I mean, every transfer window pops up. So I'm not surprised that it's popped up now. But like I said, if you want to entertain it, it actually could be a good deal if all those factors were in play. But I don't think. I think it's just his name coming up again. Like
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. Quickly, I'm going to end this poll before I come back to the panel. It says, are you concerned about Chelsea transfer activities? 68% says yes, and 32% says no. Again, majority are really concerned. Even I've left it for a while, and the people that are concerned, have always stopped it. But I'll come back. I'll put up another bill. But I want to come to you, Tobago. Your thoughts on the club's links to Aki.
Okay, to be honest, I'm going to emphasize this. If Tuchel really admired a player and was the player, at the end of the day, I can debate. I can say I don't want this player, I don't like this player. But maybe Tuchel have an idea how will use him. So if Chelsea really want Nathan Aki, and then the deal is good, the price is low, then I don't mind. But personally, I think it's all rumors.
Okay, Bobby, I'm going to come to you. Something I wanted to ask you, I forgot before we switch. The question I want to ask you, I understand you don't want the club to sign him, and you mentioned the fact we had the opportunity to sign him, and I know you're concerned we're signing. Some people are saying we're signing Manchester City's B team. What if Tuchel really wants him? That's if we're believing that what we're looking at there is in fact the truth. What if Tuchel wants him? Does it really matter? It doesn't matter. Your thoughts, Bobby? Have we lost Bobby?
Sorry, I've just stepped back. I just heard, what if Tuchel wants him?
Because we've always called for the club to support him, and that's this again. We must make this clear. There's no way to tell this is the truth. But if it is, and Tuchel really does want him, what do you think?
Who are we talking about? Sterling?
Aki.
Oh, Nathan Aki. Well, what I think won't change. But if Tuchel wants him, fine. But he's the manager. But what I think, it won't change. In that, I think we need a better player than that. I mean, if we've really come to the point where we're scraping at the bottom of the barrel and we're looking at Nathan Aki as our solution, I think that's a sad day. There's a reason he couldn't make the bench at Chelsea, and there's a reason he can't make the bench regularly at City. It is what it is. I mean, it's as I say, I can't believe that. That's clickbait. And if the peak of Thomas Tuchel's desires is Nathan Ake, then I will question his ambition as well.
Again, we're all entitled to our opinion, and I can understand where you're coming from. And again, I think from what this is what Tobago shared with me. It says from PYS, I don't know how credible it is. I haven't followed him that much, but he seemed to have quite a lot of followers, but that's no guarantee that he's genuine. Again, if you argue, breaking Chelsea are confident to secure Raheem Sterling a transfer could be around 35 million. If that's the case, then it will be an absolute steal. But let's see what happens. Again, for me, that's in the case of Raheem Sterling, I think he will bring, he will be good for us. I know people are concerned about, how many chances he misses, and some just picked out, I think it was my friend and brother Helgi. He found a video where he was trying to dribble when he was on international duty for England and ended up dribbling himself. Players do make mistakes. There's no player on earth that you will bring the name that you can't find a comical mistake from them. There's hardly any. I don't think it would be nice to judge him based on that particular video that I seen on Facebook and my on Twitter. And my response to Helgi was, okay, you can't just judge him for that. And he argued that, dribbling, he then went straight to arguing about finishing, his finishing ability and how many goals he misses. He says it's an independent feature. I said, no, you can't call it that because there are factors that can actually affect that, influence that, the output in terms of goal scoring, factors such as the player's scoring form, factors such as, the way the team plays. He may well come to Chelsea and become a better goal scorer. That's a chance that happens. So, Bob, while I'm with you, I want to get your thoughts on Chelsea's links to Raheem Sterling.
That's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Are we now settling for the fact that there are no A-list strikers out there? Raheem Sterling is not an A-list striker. He's a good striker, but he's not A-list. And what we have to ask ourselves is he really better than what we've got? If he is, then fine, fine. Is he better than Pulisic, really? I would say they're about the same. He's older, he's scoring more at the moment, but as you said, he misses a lot of chances. I would get Raheem Sterling if Timo Werner was actually going. But I would look at that as a sideways step rather than an upward step. Is this the best we can do? Really? Really? If you heard Raheem Sterling was walking through the door tomorrow, would that fill you with excitement or just apathy? I think you find there'll be a majority of apathy because he doesn't really add that much to the team. We just know we want more. We want more. We just want more. I really don't see what he brings to us, to be honest, more than what we've got.
Here's the thing. For me, I think Sterling is a good player. Again, do I think he'd fit in perfectly the way Thomas Tuchel likes to play the game? That's something you cannot say really until you see it, until he joins the team and we see what happens. Because the truth remains, the way Manchester City play, especially in the final third, the way the application in the final third is that's you could say a yawning contrast from the way they play in the final third and the way we play in the final third. And that may well be the issue, except if Thomas Tuchel, if he does have the plans to change something, to accommodate Raheem Sterling, but that remains to be seen. There's no way to tell whether that will be the case. Again, I want to get the thoughts of every other person on the panel. Let me start with you, Tobago. Your thoughts on Raheem Sterling coming to Chelsea.
Raheem Sterling is a good player. Yes, his finishing is not that good. As you said, we'll never know until he comes to Chelsea that his finishing will improve. So again, on that price tag, if you can get him on that price tag, it's a bargain for us. It's a win-win situation for us. Again, what I love about Sterling is a direct player. And then most of our taking players are not direct. They rather pass the ball backwards than to make do skills and then take one or two defenders and to create spaces. So if you can get Sterling and then Tuchel really admire this player and wants him, then I'm all for him. Because there's no way we're gonna let a player not come into Chelsea on that price tag and also on his peak. So I'm in for him.
Yeah. Again, I'm on the fence now because I've looked at it. Like I said, my concern is the way our application in the final third is way different with Manchester City's application in the final third. I don't know if that's going to change come next season. There's a chance that will be the case, but we'll see. Declare your thoughts.
Sorry, mic muted.
Yeah,
My-
your thoughts. Yeah.
I've kind of touched on this before too when we had big discussion.
Mm.
Sterling is a good player, but he doesn't solve our problems. And if you're going to get Sterling in, there has to be another attacker to come in to solve our issue. Of what I want to see and what we need up front is, you know, a player that can convert. And, you know, Sterling conversion rate and some of the easy chances he misses, he's very similar to what Werner's been doing. He's been missing. He misses so easy chances. It's insane. But Sterling to get into the box and the positioning is great. But that doesn't fix our issue. So you'd be getting Sterling in, and we'll be doing pretty much very similar to what we've been doing. So I mean, unless the price is right, unless players are going out, you know, like I would have thought that there's probably a chance that Ziyech probably doesn't like the situation. He might be going out, and if we're losing Ziyech, then yeah, if the price is right for Sterling, why not? But I still think he commands big wages, and doesn't fix our problem. So I don't think it's a good buy.
Again, I'm looking at his numbers. I don't think his numbers aren't really bad. Yes, but you could argue it is, really, you could say very nearly similar to what we have already. He has 13 goals in the Premier League, a shots on target 32, big chances of 43, expected goals is 14.13. That isn't a bad number, but I get the argument whether. Sorry.
Did you say 13?
Yeah, I'm using this 1 versus 1. And I wanted us. I think we'll do that later in the show. Some people are saying.
If I remember right, I think Pulisic is 20. So I mean, go figure if that's the difference. But then again,
who's 20?
Pulisic. But then again, we can.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Pulisic. Yeah, but then when the eye test, when you've watched the games, you've seen Pulisic miss really easy chances, and we all say, but Pulisic is, not a converter as well. So we know what we need. I've seen Sterling miss some really easy chances, even though statistically you rate it, and it doesn't even sound good statistically. But if you see that chances he does miss, and the setup they get for him. Yeah, look, we all know Sterling's not a goal scorer. He's far from it. We need someone with a better conversion rate to fix our problem. Or like, for me, if Sterling came in, I would just be like, we just got more of the same thing.
So you don't think there's a chance he comes to Chelsea Football Club and becomes a different animal in terms of putting away chances?
How old is he? 27, 28?
27.
Now,
He's 27.
Yeah, what's that? I don't think he's going to change. I think this is almost what you say now. Sterling is almost a finished product. I don't think Sterling's just going to turn into some animal. And if anything, he's going to find chances harder in a team like Chelsea compared to Man City. So I'm not sure what kind of transformation anyone's predicting, but what you say now is for me is a finished product. I don't think it's that good of a buy. I would like to go for someone that has a better goal scoring, conversion rate and record, and if anything, even if they're a bit younger, and at least we can hold hope on some potential that person gets better. I mean, Sterling's 27. This is a finished product. I wouldn't be expecting Sterling to keep improving on an exponential level. So I don't think, to be honest, I don't think it's a good buy. And the other big thing is that he comes with big wages. That's the other thing. So it's not solved the problem.
Yeah.
Probably makes a bigger problem with his wages.
Mm-hmm. So that brings to mind: are we really linked to him, or is this all nonsense? That again, it's something that there's a chance we're not even talking to him. That because there's no way to tell if all the things we see out there, which is the truth and which is. There's no way to tell it is in fact the truth because there are factors I'm considering right now. Let me say the most pronounced of all is currently on 300 per week. So do we think the club, given, it's concerning.
That's insane. I didn't know he was on that high. So
Yeah.
I mean, what is he taking a massive pay cut?
Yeah, exactly. So that begs the question: is it actually nonsense, or just the media trying, to squeeze out some more money from Manchester City? I don't know. Tell me what you think, please. Okay, it looks like Ty is in there. If he comes in, I'm going to let him speak. Let me try and catch up with the chat a bit. Says Chama Joseph Nidalo. She says, "Hey Viola, okay, just saying hello to just Viola. You could hear what you could hear what says. Shout out to everyone on the chat. Coachella, I hail you, special boss. I hail you too, brother. How you day? I hope you're doing well." Says again, I've read that. Says it's looking like we're really wanting Sterling, but. Again, it's Bobby. Can you tell me? Do you think this is serious? Because the question now, I'm doubting everything. Yeah, go ahead.
I think as fans, because we are fans, I gave you the analogy of watching a good movie. You just want to watch the movie. You don't look around all the stuff that went into making the movie, promoting the movie, and all that. Fans are failing to see the background boardroom and media warfare that takes place in and around these transfers. This is, in my opinion, pure propaganda. Manchester City have a guy on a high wage bill who never really got a lot of game time. He wasn't a dead cert starter. And he'll be an even less of a starter at the moment. He's slightly disgruntled with that position because of the World Cup. And so his agent and whatever media machine they have, because every club has them to a certain, some more than most, have gone to town with this rumor. And, they've sort of pushed it out there. Lots of people have said, where would he actually be able to go and play and stay in the Premier League at a high level? Bang, they say, Chelsea. And so they're pushing it. I don't think Chelsea will be looking at Raheem Sterling. I really don't. As Declared said, I was surprised to hear he's on as much as 300k a week. Well, not even Todd Bowley's going to fancy that. He's trying to get rid of one in Lukaku, who hasn't been scoring. And the stats will be looked at to see whether he justifies that sort of wage bill. So that's one strike. Two, as you put, is he an improvement? I think that's highly suspect. I don't think he is, personally. And three, his age. He is the finished article. He's not a young player that you can hope will get any better. Some people say, well, sometimes some players get better and get mature and get more effective with age. Yeah, you could say there was a bit of that in people like Olivier Giroud. Yeah, perhaps, but is that Raheem Sterling? I sort of have my doubts, and that's without any bias. So is it the sort of investment and part of the Chelsea rebuild we should be looking at? I would say categorically no. We definitely have Armando Broja, who we should certainly be looking at in our first team squad next season. And whoever comes in, whether it's Dembele, whether it's Nkunku, they have to be an improvement. Dembele certainly is an improvement. Nkunku, well, from what I've heard, he would probably be an improvement because of his creativity. Will our strikers start scoring? Possibly. You never know. Football's a funny thing. One season can turn your entire fortunes around. Do we want to risk that for Raheem Sterling? Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, again, overall, the argument, I think that's a chance it's absolute nonsense. Again, if it is a truth, and Thomas Tuchel really wants him, again, I'm not going to go against it. All I can do is just support, like we've clamored for the club to support him. Let's go for him. But there are questions. But I get the Klad's argument, but most of those arguments are just based on eye tests, on how, what people think about the player overall. But that's by the way. Thank you very much for that. It says, we're desperate for signing. They should wake up again. I'm not sure what you mean by that. The only defender I want is Bremer. He's a beast. He's like Rudy. Bremer is a fine defender. If he's coming to our club, I think he's capable of fulfilling the Thiago Silva role. But the only difference is that he's more aggressive than Thiago Silva. He won the Serie A Defender of the Year, and no surprise, he's fine. And I think it's Trippier here showing herself. Okay, again, no wonder you've always talked about how long your hair is. That's impressive, by the way. Give the young players chance. Look at Salah, KDB, Timo Werner, etc. We don't value us until they become superstars. Again, I urge you to please take some time to look at why some of those players left the club. It's important you do that. I think nearly all the players you named here wanted to leave. Or for some other reason. I don't know, but just research it. I think the club didn't just let them go like that. The club knew how good they were before we signed them in the first place, but circumstances led to them, not staying at the club again. But that's by the way. I think in the case of KDB and Mo Salah, they didn't want to come back after they had gone on loan, and KDB wanted more game time. While we had players who were more experienced and better than him at the club. So again, but it's, by the way, you go research it yourself, and find out whether you should be blaming the club for those players leaving. But that's by the way. Lee here is talking to the Undertaker CFC. Again, if we get Aki for cheap, that would be a great and he can easily play Rudiger's role on the left side. Again, I don't think so. Can you let me know, you go here, what is he primarily left-footed or right-footed? Let me know, I want to know.
He's left-footed.
Left-footed, okay. So
I think he was, yeah.
Okay, but just we don't find out. I just realized it says, yes, declared, somebody did mention Aki buyback. Could you even read it? Yeah, okay. Thank you. Hit the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I think somebody mentioned it, but I don't remember who.
Yeah, I think it was
right now we have 108 people watching, but we have just 59 likes. Please keep liking the video. Keep liking the video, because the more you like the video, the more people would reach, and the more fun we'd have if more people join us here. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Bobby, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm so curious, what is it with Chelsea fans and these tiny players? What is it? They seem to like these weak little players. It's I face the reality. We're going for a little player in Jules Kounde on the right. Well, we want another one on the left, plus our little weak midfield. They're going to be slaughtered. Liverpool have Van Dijk, Canute, Matip, all the, Gomez. Look at their defenders. Look at Man City's defenders. Even Real Madrid. Well, certainly now they've got Rudiger. What you want? Ake, because he's got a left foot. You think he can compete in the back with those, with those sort of guys? These guys I don't know where their head is sometimes. We look at maybe too much fantasy football. I don't get it. This is the English Premier League. It is a physical league. Physical.
Hey, Bobby, do you think Man City's team is pretty small?
Not really. People say they are because some of their attackers are, but they're pretty big guys. Their CDM, the 32-year-old, he's no slouch. Look what he did to Chelsea's midfielders when he came.
I know,
on.
but Stones, Laporte, they got pretty small defenders. But I was going to bring up, I'm not trying to bring that, that's the rule, but there's a common trait with smaller players and being good in possession. It seems like the smaller players, when you're shorter, you can retain the ball a little bit. Just a common thing it's a common characteristic. So maybe because we're trying to be more possession based is probably why we're going after these players as priority, but picking that over strength and stuff, if that makes sense. Like Kounde is really good on the ball.
I totally hear you, and I agree. There must be a balance. Sometimes, I like my smaller players slightly further up the pitch. I don't mind them at wing backs to a certain extent, so long as they've got the big guys behind them. I always use this example.
Yeah, in this system, Bobby, where the left and right, they go a bit wide and in. So, idealistically, you'd want someone that's a little bit like a bigger fullback, if that makes sense, for those positions. So, I don't mind it, but where you're 100% right, that middle person, I want him, in a bit of a stature. So he's got big, strong. Thiago Silva isn't the tallest person, but he's very well experienced and big and strong. That's why when we were linked to Koulibaly, I was saying Koulibaly is a great person and a great backup for that position, and probably could play across all three. But sometimes Koulibaly, as big as he is, he might get caught out if he's a little bit slower on the left and right position. So I think there's a lot of factors, Bobby. You're not completely wrong, but you got to look at those aspects. And like I said, I think Tuchel's prioritizing possession, defenders that are good on the ball over some other characteristics beforehand, just to make sure.
Okay,
just to make sure that the way of playing is played, and anything else after that is a bit of a bonus, I guess.
I'll give you two examples. I'm not advocating for Land of the Giants, by the way, but I'm advocating for a competitive position. Right. The first example I'll give: Cesc Fabregas was one of the best ball distributors probably in the world. We didn't call him Magic Hat for nothing. But whenever
he's a free agent now, apparently.
Well, he's an old man now. But whenever he played with Kante in midfield, we were absolutely slaughtered. We had to bring and always, I remember then, we would always end up having to bring Matic, even if he was tired and overplayed. We had to bring him in for that physicality to play with either one of them. Now, another example, I remember a game where Tuchel, the media, the pressmen and women were asking him, why did you play Chalobah today? And his simple response was, look, we needed the height at the back. We didn't have enough height. I think that day he had lots of injuries and he had to play like Aspie, Reece James and so on. Physicality matters. You don't have to be a Koulibaly. He's slightly a bonus, as a centre back. If you could be of that stature and be a centre back, it's a bonus. Like Van Dijk, like Canute, like Zuma was. But you have to be able to compete, especially in the air. I mean, Christensen, he wasn't a particularly strong guy. He still isn't. But he had some height. And he wasn't always easy to beat in the air. Now, you put someone like Nathan Ake there, the ball's just going to be floating into the 6-yard box willy-nilly. It's just not a good balance, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I heard the height argument came in when Sarri played as well. We do have a lot of shorter players, and where it's a major factor, it's not so much across in between the box, but it's the set pieces, the corners and free kicks, where they want a bit of zonal marking, and I think they need 3-4, 6 foot plus players to mark an area. And as soon as you lack in a certain area, the other team's going to exploit it with height, and that's when height plays a major part. So that's why managers would actually make decisions like that, because on set pieces, it's a major factor.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think we're done. Actually, we've talked about IQ1, Raheem Sterling right now. I'm going to quickly scroll down, right? I think, we're talking about Sterling, but I read something that somebody said about Aki in the chat. Was that why we returned it to Aki, right? Wasn't that what happened?
Whichever
I think it
whichever
was.
way you
I
want to
think
go
it
on.
was.
Yeah, I read something in the chat. That's why we went back to Aki. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom because it happened because I'm way too behind. So by the time I'm reading it again, it takes us back to where we were. So I'm going to go to the bottom now. So we're all caught up again. Let's round off with the Sterling case. I know your argument. I don't know the clarify. Ty, are you there? Are you back with us?
Yeah.
Ty isn't back with us again. Again, I think we should just move on to the next topic. It's all everywhere right now, and it's my fault because I'm way far too behind with the comments. So when I read it, it just takes us back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to try to keep it aligned from now on. So let me see what we have here, read it, and then we'll move on from there. If there's anything to address here, says, for what it's worth, Nathan Ake buyback refuser occurred during Lampard era, so probably he didn't want him. Leo Messi is a small player. Again, I'm going to move away from that. What Tuchel was implying by size in the defense then was a cost of the set piece, not man marking. Okay, you go here, and remember, also, Jose Mourinho, is it mostly used Oscar instead of Mata? He also left and Conte used Mata instead of Oscar, and Oscar moved to China. Again, managers' preferences differ, that's for sure. Says, I agree, Bobby. We need more muscle in midfield. Tuchel highlighted his bringing in Saul as a panic option. We need commanding CBs now. Madrid, Ramos, Barca, Piqué, Liverpool, Van Dijk, Man City, Diaz, and Laporte. Again, it says, I always thought of myself, okay. Again, I'm going to skip a few here. Again, it says, okay. What did Jos Viola say here? I'm here, Coachella, way down. Okay, thank you very much for raising your hand. And that's a special small player, of course. Bobby's saying we need a balance. That's all. Yeah, we do need balance. It's impressive. Okay, let me see here. You go here. What? Again, I didn't blame Jose. Let's again. Finally, I think we can all argue that that's a slight. That's a reason, a big factor actually to look at the Raheem Sterling links properly, and it's nothing but his salary, his wage, weekly wage, which is we believed to be around 300,000 pounds a week. I think that would cause a problem in the dressing room. Again, that's how I see it. I just don't know. The final question I would ask before we move on from Raheem Sterling is this, and I'll start with you, Bobby. Will it count as a marquee signing for you? Should we sign him?
In my opinion, no. In my opinion, gosh, no. Where would you rank Raheem Sterling in world football? If Raheem Sterling is put out there for all the top clubs in Europe, how many people will really scramble for him as they scramble for Erling Haaland? Very few. There'll be some, but very few. He's not highly sought after. If it's somebody like Chiesa, that's a marquee signing. If it's somebody like Haaland's gone, you know what I mean? This guy in Real Madrid, in Atletico, I always forget his name. Felipe,
the Portuguese.
Yeah, Felipe. Oh gosh, what's his name? Felipe. I've forgotten his name.
It's not Luis. I forgot to say the Portuguese international. But go ahead if I remember. I'll tell you.
I mean, he is a marquee signing, and by the way, he's not very big either. So I'm not just into all this. I as you've said, I think there should be a balance, especially in defensive positions. So Raheem Sterling, to me, I don't see the point. I mean, he would excite maybe someone like West Ham or that like. I just don't. As Declared said, he's not a solution to our problems. And what we need is solutions to our problems. So no, he's not a marquee signing.
Tobago, your thoughts? How about you, Tobago? It looks like he's not with us. Your thoughts, Declared. Would you consider Raheem Sterling a marquee signing?
Yes and no. I think Marquis because of the money. I mean, if we're going to give him 300k wages, maybe a decent transfer fee, might be the biggest name we bring in. In that sense, yeah. But not Marquis in someone that's going to be a big presence in the team and be a solution. So I wouldn't call him Marquis. Some would, and he might be the biggest name, but he could be if he comes on 300k or more, he could be our highest paid player. Lukaku being off the books, he will take that spot. He will be our highest paid player, and that is in its own right a marquee signing. And when you look at it like that, I think it might be an actual terrible signing.
That's quite a statement right there. And again, I'm going to come back to the chat quickly. Things people say, and Dylan says, a good point, True Blue. Gallagher back now. We bring in a CDM who can do a similar job to Matic in his prime, and we are, laughing. Some exceptionally fast center back, and we will be in good stead. Again, you could argue that. Well, please, if you're watching, we have 108 people watching, but we have just 69 likes. Please keep liking the video. The more you like the video, the more the video, the YouTube algorithm will be triggered, and the video will be pushed to more people who will be interested in this particular topic. And the more people we have here, the more fun it will be. And again, I don't even ask you, don't donate. I prefer you liking the video than you donating to the channel, please. The more you like the video, it will do the channel a world of good. And please do consider subscribing if you haven't. And thank you, for listening to me. We have 72 likes now, which is more than we had before I started talking about it. So please keep liking the video. It will go a long way. It says, again, it says, you go here, well, the only real time under Roman Abramovich, the manager got his players to suit his style. What's the first window for you? So I think you could argue that Abil, it's a pool of the 700 million on match. And okay, it's something I don't know what they're talking about right there. So I'm just going to skip. And now let's move to the next thing we have in the list, on the list to talk about. Let me come back here just quickly. Anybody else want to say anything about Sterling before we change the topic?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. I asked you your thoughts on the fact that Raheem is on 300 a week. Your thoughts said, do you think it's that, shouldn't we, you're the one that brought up, his weekly salary. Don't you think it's too much?
It's too much. It's too much for us. Remember, we are already need to offload Lukaku, and then now Sterling ends 300. What if Chelsea he wants more? How much will Chelsea offer for him? Again, I'm seeing reports at Sky Sports saying Sterling price tag might be close to 60 million. So we're not sure how much City will demand for him. So, but anyway, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see indeed. Again, people keep liking the video. Keep liking the video, please. We like that. It says Dembele is the perfect, simple. Was Jose fault he didn't want to come back? Again, it's a yes, Dembele. Okay, let's go now. Let's talk about Dembele. Really, that's a perfect way to transition to that. Yep. Again, that's how much he is on right now. Too much because given his age, and we're not sure what we're getting. It's not like he's firing on all cylinders. Then we're getting, and then you could argue, okay, we're bringing him in, and but right now he's not at his best. And you could say Man City wants to do away with him. It's not like the problem is that he's injured or something like that. But I think he's probably, you could argue, a reject, from being a foot, not like a product. I don't know the right word to use and not to come across like I'm name calling. So coming back to the panel, Bobby, I'll start with you again. Now, the Ousmane Dembele transfer, links to Chelsea, it's everywhere right now. You see some people say he's given up in Chelsea, he's staying at Barcelona. You see some people saying he's still going to come to Chelsea. Some say his only concern is whether he's going to be starting, and not be part of a rotation plan or something like that. But this first one here says, Barcelona, we'll start with this one now. Barcelona, we make one last attempt to convince Ousmane Dembele to sign a new contract, but the player already has his heart set on a move to Chelsea as long as he is given a key first-team role. I think this covers the fact that, yeah, he wants to come to Chelsea, and also the fact, that his concern is game time. Bobby, I'll start with you.
A player like Ousmane Dembele will not be talking about game time in the context Chelsea fans talk about game time. He is now used to playing for a team like Barcelona, where you play according to how you perform. You are rotated, although their league is less demanding. So you can get people like Messi nearly playing every single game.
And as always, just quickly, as always, disclaimer, there's no way to confirm that this is in fact the truth. We're just assuming if this is the truth, we're basing this off, okay, if we believe it is the truth, but there's no way to confirm. Bobby, go ahead.
Sure. I mean, a league like La Liga, where a club like Barcelona, of the number of games, they only have relatively 2, maybe 3 real games home and away a season. The rest, people like, the top class players, it's a training exercise. So he will know what he's getting into if he chooses to come to the Premier League and to Chelsea. So he will know he's good enough to start most games as a starter. But there will be some games he will know he'll be rested, and injury permitting, there'll be others that he may not play in order to protect him. It depends. Nobody coming to a club like Chelsea, who, in all honesty, should be playing there about 60 games a season, thereabouts.
That's even too much.
Oh, no, who's going to play that much? Nobody's going to play that much. This is all dependent on us being successful in the Cups, as we always are, as well as in the league. So, he knows. Now, I look at this Dembele situation as the Mbappe situation. I don't think, it doesn't make any sense to me. If he has decided to stay at Barcelona, well, he would have signed by now. What's the drama? Do you know what I mean? What is the drama? Is he waiting for even more money? Well, maybe. Are they prepared to pay him that? I don't think so. I don't think he is that great a player that they will put all their finances into him. If they do, they'll be very stupid, and they certainly wouldn't be getting Lewandowski. So I'm not sure. I am less convinced he's staying at Barcelona, despite what the leaked video said. He could say anything to a fan that's
there's no sense in telling him, no, I'm not staying.
Exactly.
He's still under contract.
Yeah, he's under contract, and these players aren't stupid. You don't know who's talking to you. You don't know. You're in America. You talk to some people, they pull out a gun. You don't know. There's a lot of crazy people out there. I'm not saying that is what would happen. It's less likely in Europe, but you really don't know. Are they going to attack you? Are they going to mess up your car? So you just keep it cool. And that's exactly what he did. So I negate that. It's the PSG angle that's a bit of a concern. And why it's a bit of a concern is that looking at how they threw money at Mbappe, they have the money to throw if they think Dembele is a worthy project, which is possible. So they could be throwing some serious money at him. Is there financial fair play repercussions? Well, they're already in violation of FFP, big time. And I think the chickens are coming home to roost for them. I think we just have to wait till after the World Cup. But that's another angle. So the Chelsea angle, he's pretty cool on it. I think Chelsea, if rumors are to believe, have made a decent offer. and he'll be joining a good project, and he will be an important player at Chelsea. So it's an intrigue that we won't know the outcome of until the first day of July at the earliest.
Yeah, I think you make a good point there. I'll come back to the panel in a bit. I wanted to read this quickly. It says Sterling dives too much and gets paid too much. I think he dives. I wouldn't say too much, but I think he dives. And then a lot of Manchester City players do. They do cheat in most cases to get things go their way. It says I'm talking about Barca selling a TV and merchandise. If they reach Laporte's targets, they will have over 200 million for players. Wow. Okay. Good. Thank you for that update there. This is coming 26 likes to 100 likes. Love you all, like really, but show it back best. Yes, we have 77 likes right now, and we have 99 people watching. So please, if you haven't, take a second to like the video. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We've gained a few subscribers today. Right now, we have 3,033 subscribers. We've gained almost 15 subscribers today. But I know we can do better than that. But just please keep liking the video if you haven't. It is free. It doesn't cost anything. It takes just a second. You go hear what I was saying. Okay, just a conversation between the two. And GFC says, love your content. How can I get involved? Sterling will be a good buy. Okay. Yeah, I get it. I understand. Probably that's not what you meant to spell there. If you want to get under the panel, you have to hit me up via Twitter. And there are a few things I would check to be sure you're legit before I send you the link. Again, people, keep liking the video and keep subscribing to the channel if you haven't. Boss, take all the spammers off. Okay, I'm not sure who they are. Let me know. Again, to be honest, if we get Dembele for Ziyech and Sterling for Werner, I am good with this. They offer more. Just again, yeah, thank you for ending it with just your own opinion. Again, I want to play again. I'm gonna keep going and keep going here. My complexities are enormous but simple. Okay, thank you for that. Says you get the channel owns. Okay, to moderator. He wasn't a Barca fan. The guy is French. Okay. Only Dembele, but that's a chance. He's French and also a Barca fan. We must consider that. Amran, only Dembele is what you want. Okay, you go here just judging players based on being played out of position, including wingbacks. That's what is going to happen to anyone that comes in. Again, that was why, first of all, I asked at one point, do we really need wingers? Because all we get from our current wingers is complaint, how they've been played out of position. Okay, no worries, Declan, I understand. Okay, in a bit, just quickly. Let me see, where did I stop here? Let me see where I stopped. Okay, I've read that. Rodrigo, what are you on about? You are such a peculiar character. Okay, thank you very much for nicely saying that. Let's to the stream. Can you summarize for me your thoughts on Sterling for 35 million? I think there's a risk there. Some people argue that his numbers aren't really, good enough. Some argue that his salary is too high. We're hearing he's currently on 300K a week, which is, I think it's too much if we really do want him. It's not like he's been in brilliant form of late. It's not, if he is, then we could say, okay, let's pay him that money, it's worth it. But we don't know. Again, we also argued if it's what the manager wants, we cannot argue against that. So with that, again, 96 people watching, please keep liking the video. If you haven't, do like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And I'm going to wait. If you have up to 150 people watching at least, then we'll do a $50 giveaway to say thank you for 3,000 subscribers. Again, but wherever you are, you must be on YouTube here to participate. Again, so coming to you, Declan, have I asked you about your thoughts on Ousmane Dembele? You go ahead because you said you want to head off in a bit.
Yeah, sorry about that, but I had to leave soon.
No problem, I understand.
With Dembele, I think I had more praises before, but some of the news coming out now, and if it's true, and especially with that video, of course, he's not going to say nothing in the videos, But a lot of there's been a lot of news even before we're linked to Chelsea that he's always wanted to stay at Barcelona, but he didn't like what they offered him because they wanted him to take a massive pay cut, and because how many games he missed, which sounds almost fair enough in the situation.
There's quite a lot of conflicting reports out there.
Yeah, so there's a lot of reports that he actually wants, the priority is to stay, and then if that's not going to happen, so even the links to Chelsea are probably more to push Barca to match the money that he wants, and then it's almost like Chelsea are second, or any club is second, and it puts me off a little bit. It sounds exactly. We just almost went through the same thing. Lukaku was really happy where he was. They didn't give him a pay raise, and that's why he left. And these deals that are very money motivated, I'm not going to say players can't move for money, but I mean, we need the wages he would come in. He would be one of the the highest paid. We need someone that's really going to come in and really play for the club. I'm a little put off on players that just their move was surrounded about money completely. Do you know what I mean? And we just want players that's going to come in and just fight. That's why I always said I just want killers. And everything that I start hearing about Dembele, and I don't know how the guy demands, and if it is true, starts talking about that he wants all these guarantees. When a player gets that confidence and starts putting all these guarantees and I want this and that, and it's almost like he doesn't really want to come to Chelsea, but if the deal's too good, then he has to come, and a lot of players do that stuff. So,
which simply means it's about money.
Yeah, it's about money, and the deal has to be too good. It's almost like even Rudiger. I mean, we matched the money that he wanted, and he's getting less at Real Madrid, but if we offered him an insane amount, which was a high wage.
Wait. Let me ask this, please. Go back a bit. Rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
You serious? Rudiger is earning less than what we offered him at Real Madrid?
Yeah, that's the reports.
But go ahead with what you're saying.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say that all these reports can be wrong and probably misled. I've been misled too, right? On every single report, everything I'm saying. I am nitpicking this and that, and I don't really know. But like I said, the Dembele, if any of that news is true, and like I said, I go back to Dembele before Chelsea links. He did want to stay. That did sound true. They did offer him less, and that's what led to the situation that we're in now. That he's being linked to us and being linked to everything. And another reason he's being linked because we need attackers and Tuchel, and there could be a chance that we're not even linked to Dembele, that we're not even after him, because I said this before, if we were actually linked to Dembele, that would be the easiest move to do, free transfer, pay the money, and that's it. If Dembele is true and he's just waiting for the end date, then as soon as the deadline's about to hit on his contract, which is I think was the 30th. He should be announcing a club, or he's just going to be a complete free agent. So I don't know why the delay is. If everything was done, then right. I mean, they must be looking for the highest bidder. So I don't know. Everything surrounds it doesn't sound right for Dembele.
No, I don't think they'd be looking for highest bidder. He's waiting to leave on a free, and he hasn't signed a new contract.
No, that's what I mean. When I mean highest bidder, I'm not, who's going to pay him?
You're talking
more?
about his camp.
Yeah, his camp. Yeah, who's going to pay him more and his agent and stuff, and there is going to be a sign-on fee for him as well. So who's going to throw him the most money? And I think that's what it's very surrounded around. So I think that's what's putting me off. But if that wasn't the case, I think Dembele could be a player. Still doesn't completely solve our converting problem, and I still would want to see another player. But I think the fact that he comes on a free still allows us to throw money at another player.
I really hear you. I think you make a very, very good point. Just playing a bit of devil's advocate here, because
which I like.
of because of this sort of cloak and dagger way Chelsea have to conduct business, do you think that there's a chance, as per a lot of the information we've got out there, that an agreement has already been reached, but Chelsea is holding up any sort of announcement because they are trying to sort out other things within the club? I mean, I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying it with any sort of conviction. I'm just thinking, because it is strange that, 2 weeks to the end of his contract, he hasn't yet said where he's going. It's a little bit weird. That's why I feel.
No, I think he can't just say he's still under contract. We agreed on that. So I don't think he'd come out and say, I'm going to Club A. Why he's still under contract?
Well, Rudiger did.
Well, you could say in terms of his Rudiger, it wasn't like he was fighting with Chelsea. I think you could argue he actually left with the club's blessing. That's you could argue that. But in this case, a lot has been going on. The racism role, how the club handled it, and everything. It seemed as if they wanted him out because they wanted to cut their wage bill because they were in financial trouble. But go ahead.
Yeah, I hear you. I think there's value in that because it's not it's not a harmonious separation.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at this point, now that it's in the off season, what difference does it make? Is he trying to relocate his family? There could be numerous reasons. I don't think it's a deal that's off, but I understand declared slight concern because I don't like too much talk about money being the driving factor. That's why I'm so keen on Jules Kounde, because we don't always hear, oh gosh, you've got to pay me this, you've got to pay me that. He was in London, photographed. You could see he's keen to come, and hopefully he does. So, he's sending out the right signals. Although Dembele was in London as well. I don't know. He was in London. There's photographs of him all over the place. So I don't know. I just...
I'm going to catch up with the chat and come back. But Declan, you want to say anything before you leave? I know you're a bit to leave.
What Bobby said, big up for everyone. Yeah, I get everyone's concerns. I mean, I find the panic really overwhelming because some of the stuff people are saying are quite insane at the moment. But yeah, I hope the Dembele thing is true then. If it was, they can announce it. If it was set in stone and there was no others, I think they're also leaving the window open for some other people to come in. So I don't think it's set in stone yet. That's the way I feel. But it could be. Everything could be. There could be a whole bunch of people that just waiting to seal, sign, and deliver. So that's the beauty about being left in the dark. We don't know anything, and we can just speculate and get concerned. But yeah, we're gonna come here every day and talk about it. So hopefully some good news soon.
I do hope so too, and thank you very much for finding time to join us, Declan. It's always a pleasure. I appreciate that so much. Now, let me try and catch up with the chat. Here we have Rodrigo saying, big up to you too, brother. Coach, we ain't signing anyone of note this summer. I am taking a sabbatical leave from all the transfers. Is that why you're acting like you didn't see the link I sent you? I get it. So you've joined the panic bandwagon, right? I see that. Okay, Rodrigo, I'm going to add you to that list. But that's, by the way, Mo says, if we get both Dembele, Sterling, who stays for backup because Pulisic does not want to be bench backup, or do we keep Ziyech? I'd keep Ziyech if you were up to if you leave that decision to me. But I think for obvious reasons, again, seeing things from the player's own perspective, he may well want to leave Chelsea. But the question remains, will the club let them go? Because you must answer that aspect. Even if a player wants to leave, if the club doesn't want the player to leave, they stay as long as they're still under contract. Or even if you submit a transfer request, if they want to keep you, they'd still keep you. Again, but that's by the way. Sorry, but cannot have Tottenham fans. This is not. Yes, that's the truth. If you find any deal with it, the way you see, you deem, fit. Chelsea the Kingslayer says a 4-3-3 with attacking fullbacks to provide width, still turn wingers into inside forwards. Again, good luck with convincing Tuchel to even change the system or anything. But then, I'll talk about that in a bit. Again, it says, I didn't hear anyone complain. My point is, don't judge them when they are not being played naturally. So again, that's an argument that makes sense. Mikhail says 35 million for Raheem Sterling, rumors gathering momentum, not the worst bad signing. Surely a wage bill, add-ons might still be cranked. Yeah, those factors actually will be huge in deciding whether the club should go for him or not. But here's the thing. There's no consistency in terms of what's out there regarding the transfer fee. We're seeing 60. So I think Tobago here my brother Tobago, he shared something with me that's saying it's 60 plus. And if that's the case, I don't think it's worth it. Again, that's my opinion. We must remember we've all been calling for the club to back the manager. And if they really want to back him, and he says he wants Sterling, if they pay 60 for him, I'm not going to blow against the wind. Again, it's not even possible. Again, Mikhail, thank you for finding time to join us. Muna Michael Muyeka says, Chelsea board is boring. They cannot sign any players. Sure. Again, that's your argument. We'll see. Everyone wants us to play a particular formation. What about what the manager wants or what he thinks best suits his own team? If you insist we approach teams differently, then it's fine. Again, that's a good argument. It all comes down to what the manager wants to do. Africa, why so many bloody countries would take? Okay, again, I'm going to skip that. But we don't have that kind of creativity to switch formation anyhow. I think we do. I disagree with you on that one. We do. What it's not working is what I can't really tell you. Some people will argue it's because players get played out of position, but that's an argument for another day. Getting Sterling ends the Pulisic project. In your opinion, they both play off the left-hand side. Again, here's the thing. Sterling is 27. He's not getting any younger. Pulisic is just 22, 23 or so. So, again, and Pulisic means just more than a footballer for Chelsea Football Club. And we've talked about that a lot of times. Right now, we need just 19 likes. Just excuse me 1 second to get to 100 likes. And we have 94 people watching. So please, if you haven't, take a second to like the video to help us reach more video. Thank you, and thank you so much. And again, remember, there's always something going on Chelsea Perspective, but I will not be in some of them after this one, like after the Blue Money show, subsequent shows will be automated. I would not be there, but I will be interacting with people in the chat. And also, every now and then, if there's any breaking news, any serious breaking news, I will turn on the camera, come in, sit and talk to people for for 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'll leave it to continue running. But that's, by the way, it says Bali is not going to sign many players. He isn't a rich billionaire. He's been here for 2 weeks already. Yeah, exactly. Give him time. But he's going to sign many players anyway. That's where I disagree with you. Says, don't you remember when Sterling for the move out of Liverpool due to Liverpool wouldn't give him the money he wanted? So simply that confirms the move is all about the money, no matter how we see it. But there's no way to tell if, in fact, Thomas Tuchel says is a big admirer of the player, like everybody's saying. And like Bobby did mention, there's a chance Raheem Sterling himself is sponsoring all those rumors, maybe to get Chelsea to come for him or to get Manchester City to give him what he's asking for. Because the talks has always been, if he leaves City, he's going to go to Real Madrid, but it's looking like they don't even want him there. So he's going to, cook up something, to make it seem like, he's hot and available. So, but we'll see. There's no way to tell what we're hearing is in fact the truth. Let's see. I just wanted to score. I says the might LA Dodgers have second biggest payroll in MLB. Maybe our new boss has other priorities, there's a chance he's not really concerned. Yeah. So to me, what I understand from that comment, there's a chance Todd Boehly may well not be concerned that much about the players' salaries as long as he has the players he wants in the team who can help, the club to keep winning. He'd be fine with that. Again, we need just 15 more likes to get to 100 likes, and we have 110 people watching. So if you haven't, please take a second to like the video. And something I want to repeat again, I'd rather you like the video than you donate. And I sincerely do mean that, because the likes would do more for the channel. It helps the channel grow. It helps the channel reach more people. And the more people we have, the more fun. And the more people we have joining the channel, the more the channel, faster the channel grows, and the more people will get to subscribe to the channel. So please keep liking the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I say Rudiger's full package is a lot higher. Okay, so that makes sense now, because that was why I was saying, wait, why is he joining Madrid if they're paying him less? Less than what we offered him. Because the truth is, there's still the sign-on fee when you're living on a free, and that's usually huge, because they're not paying transfer fee, not only for him, but also for his brother agent. Okay, now that makes sense. 6-7 years ago, when he was in his prime, it's different. Now, I think he would prefer game time. Again, says already gone 400K a week. Real Madrid, Marina offered 140K a week. That's why she's been sacked. Boehly for messing. No, she's not being sacked. I don't know where you're getting that from. Again, you have to understand, Rudy is earning less weekly, but got a huge sign-in fee, which was one of the reasons why I argued, as people argued that they think Ousmane Dembele will probably be Chelsea's first signing on the, big name signing on the Todd Boehly. But I argued it would be more complex, because the player will be asking for there's a sign-on fee involved. There's a chance the club will be asking for a clause on his contract regarding his, behavior in the past, or asking him to put out a statement to solve something, because it comes, no matter how you see it, Dembele comes with a PR nightmare. Again, but I'm not going to go into that right now. Rudiger is earning less than what Chelsea offered him, but the main reason he moved was simply cost of the agent. No, I think the main reason you could argue is the sign-on fee, which is quite a lot. Chelsea should be careful. Dembele always forces his way out of a club. That may well be a pattern, because he did it at Dortmund. Now he's doing it at Barcelona if he doesn't stay there. But we'll see what happens. If we spend 60 million on Sterling, we're shocked. Yeah, exactly. If we spend 60 on him, I'd be surprised. True Blue says Chelsea offered Rudiger higher salary, but it was Madrid's sign-on fee. Yep, that was what I thought too, and which is one of the reasons why I still argue the Dembele, signing isn't going to be that simple. It will be complicated. Bring Dembele and Sterling as wingers, then Lewandowski as number 9. Again, that's your wish. I'm getting that. We could complain about Tuchel's system, but we forgot we lost vital points due to the players are missing. Again, that's another argument. I'm going to skip to the bottom so we'll be able to progress, because if I keep reading, I might not get to that place by the end of the show. Says, I want to see Lampard 4-3-3 with Ziyech, all attack, no defense like Leeds. That's hilarious. I know somebody, I think my friend Stav, we always, argue that Lampard cannot coach a good defense. Again, and he could argue that's the truth. Now, back to the panel. Let's continue with who were we talking about? Did I take us back? I think we were still on Raheem Sterling, but I think we should move on. But overall, Bobby, I haven't talked about his wages. And, do you really? And another factor is this. Pep likes to keep a very large squad. He likes to keep a very large squad. And you could argue that Erling Haaland is a replacement for Aguero. So because they haven't lost too many players. So given the fact that he likes to keep a very large squad, and given the fact that Sterling is on £300 a week, do you really think this is the truth? I think I've asked you that before, but I want to get your thought more, given that we've talked about his salary and what I just mentioned, the fact that Pep likes to keep a very large squad.
This is propaganda. Chelsea are not into Raheem Sterling. Nothing about it makes sense. 60 million makes even less sense. 300k a week is just a joke. We don't want him. We're not in for him. We're not going to offload Man City's wage bill. We're not here for that. This is because we have been silent and inactive in the transfer window. And so people are taking pot shots, trying to create a story. It's everywhere. It usually starts off with Sky Media and filters through to everybody else. I think I can say with an element of confidence that Chelsea do not want Raheem Sterling. If they do,
Bobby,
those terms, then
Let him finish. Let him finish the bagger.
Go
If ahead,
they
Bobby.
do with those terms, then I think we are going from we're just inheriting stupidity. Basically, it makes no sense at all.
It just doesn't. Putting everything together, it just doesn't make sense. Your thoughts, Tobago, you wanted to say something.
I want to ask maybe something. If Chelsea really signed Raheem Sterling, what would you say? Because now you're saying like this was all rumors and stuff. So if Chelsea signed Sterling, how would you feel?
I'll feel highly disappointed. I would look at Raheem Sterling as an abject waste of money, just like I felt Lukaku was, and I was unfortunately proven right. That is the exact same situation. It is sheer stupidity, and I'll be very, very, very disappointed at the club if they can make that sort of stupid signing.
But again, Bobby, we always say we should beg our manager. Now Tuchel have the power to name players that he wants, and then what if Tuchel wants him? So again, should we buy an average player than get him a Sterling that he wants?
I have a lot of respect for Tuchel. I think he's one of the best managers in the world, and I have defended him to the hilt. I've gone to war with people on platforms because of Thomas Tuchel. If he signs or okays or pushes for Raheem Sterling, I would be very disappointed in him as well. And I will begin to suspect him as a manager. I will have a lot of suspicions as to his capabilities. I just don't see any sense in this. If they were going to buy him for 15 million and put him on maybe 150k a week, okay, maybe. But at this sort of superstar wage, nah. Madness. Absolute madness. I'm not for that at all.
Yeah, I think, again, if he comes, I will support him. If that's what Thomas Tuchel wants, I will support him too. And if he ends up getting fired because of it, he did that to himself. But I'm not going to go into it too much. Again, there's an argument. You could argue there's a chance he does better at Chelsea. Like I argued with my brother and friend Helgi, there's a chance he does better at Chelsea Football Club. If indeed Thomas Tuchel is a big admirer of the player, we'll see what he can do with him. But it still looks like absolute nonsense to me. Again, let's go back to the player we were talking about. Again, we've started talking about Ousmane Dembele. And this report here says Ousmane Dembele is ready to join Chelsea, but he wants assurance from Thomas Tuchel that he will be a starter and not subject to strict squad rotation. This also sounds like nonsense to me. It's everywhere, and that's why we've been advising people, don't believe in anything you read until you see the player holding up the club's shirt. Your thoughts, and Kimster says at this point, Chelsea should recruit. I'm not going to read that anymore. And Kim, so your negativity, I'm really concerned reading what you have there. Although sometimes it can be funny, but sometimes it can just be, just so negative. I regret highlighting it in the first place. We need a director of football with a scouting background. Again, I've argued why not give Petr that job, but some people have argued otherwise for obvious reasons that he's not experienced. What is a team of players are saying they need to be assured about their starting position? You come to a team, you earn your position, yes, That's what I like. You earn your position. No player should be given a position. And I don't think this doesn't sound like what Ousmane Dembele would say. Here's here's where I argue that. First of all, he knows Thomas Tuchel, and under Thomas Tuchel, he's never been rotated out of the team. He's always played nearly every game except if he's injured. And he knows Thomas Tuchel loves him. And he understands, probably he's a professional now. At this level, he's a professional at this level of his career. He should understand that rotation is key for every big team. He's a human being, he's not a machine. Plus, he's injury prone. Yes, he hasn't been injured for a while, which we argued marriage changes everything. And he's behaved himself for a while. That's a chance he may know. That's, again, he understands resting him helps him stay fit. So, Tobago, come in. I want to get your thoughts.
Yes, I wanted to add something about a player saying he needs a guarantee start in a team. There's no way you're going to get a guarantee start. You have to end your position. Again, that's the issue. Like I know it's out of topic, but there's the Lukaku issue. Lukaku thought he will be a main man. His position is already there. Whether he plays bad or poor, that's not Thomas Tuchel. Tuchel will play players on form. That's why maybe Lukaku is pushing to go back to Inter Milan. But again, these reports, man, how can a player demand this? There's no way.
Yep. Again, like I said to the mods, if anybody curses and insults the club, time the person out. Again, it doesn't matter. I don't know why at this point Chelsea will be signing animals. That sounds somehow. Again, you guys should handle it. That's why you're a mod. Again, it says we getting net and IQ for squad depth won't hurt us at all. Also, could bring Pep methods to us. I think we already understand his method. It's very, but I don't want to talk about that. Here's the thing. Now, if we're talking about squad depth, we have young players who, especially, you could argue, what's his name, Levi Colwell, who's played in that position in a very, very tough championship. Again, I think he should be there and not go pay that much money for Aki to bring him back. And there's something True Blue said that I highlighted a few minutes ago. He counts as the homegrown quota, but I doubt he's going to come on the cheap, which wouldn't make sense. Again, I don't want to dwell on that. Let me see anything else here. But Love One is, again, it says, let me see if there's anything to read here. Nothing else. Again, if you're watching, please, Tosin Collins, welcome to the channel. We have 86 likes. We have need 14 more likes to get to 100 likes. So please, if you haven't, take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're shooting for 4,000 subscribers, and I know we'll get there as soon as possible. And again, just to tell everybody on time, there's a chance I will be traveling on Tuesday for vacation, and if I do, I will be making short videos, and I'll try to keep rolling the automated streams to keep you updated on what's going on out there. So coming back to you, Bobby, I don't know if you've made your opinion known on this comment, the tweet on the screen regarding him asking for assurance for game time. I think it's absolute nonsense, if you ask me.
I don't believe it for a second. As I've said, grade A players, they know they come for a high fee, and they know that their performances dictates everything. I know PSG operate on a different financial scale to everybody else, but even the great Lionel Messi, on coming to PSG, sat on the bench for many, many a game. So I don't see that. That's another clickbait. Because of our inactivity, journalists are looking for attention and are clickbaiting this scenario.
Yeah. I think that's the case. And just to help us all learn something, learn why Chelsea is a proper tool for journalists and media outlets who's looking for more rating and more clickbait. Here's a perfect example. when the sale process was still on, we at one point we heard Roman Abramovich has asked for the loan back from Chelsea Football Club, and that means Chelsea are going to go down. That's one. At one point we heard there is some delays, a lot of hurdles for Chelsea to overcome before the club can be sold to Todd Boehly, and that's after announcing that Todd Boehly is actually the preferred bidder. So that shows you, how much of a tool Chelsea is to media outlets and journalists who are seeking, for more, more clicks or more ratings. Go ahead, Bobby. You wanted to say something.
Yeah, I think I've said most of it. That is just another clickbait, just like the Raheem Sterling story. And we're going to keep getting this until we make signings and they have something substantial to say. This is why it's important to have these platforms to get some perspective on these things and to disprove them and to kick back against them, because it's absolute nonsense. I mean, I cannot. I know, some people believe Dembele is a difficult character, and he probably is. But to look for that sort of guarantee, any club worth their salt would just laugh in his face. What are you talking about? Are you going to sign or what? Or are you telling us you don't know how to play? I mean, what are you saying? You don't say that. Your football does the talking.
Yeah. Here I agree with Lee. I'm going to come to Rodrigo in a bit. And Rodrigo, I'm going to shame you publicly. You've joined the bandwagon of the impatient. Just kidding, bro. I know you put that.
I'm balling out.
Yeah, exactly. You're balling out already.
Again,
we have 84 people watching and we have 89 likes, just 11 more likes to get to 100 likes. And please, if you haven't, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Here, Lee says, I'd rather spend money on Delete than Aki. You and I the same. I must say that. Again, let's get to 100 likes, people. Listen to the Queen of the House. Please keep liking the video if you haven't. Just 11 more likes to get to 100 likes. I am the fireworks, you're the explosion. I love that saying. Maybe you have to let me know what it means so that I can start using it. Journalists are scaremongering Chelsea because the media hates us. So you know that, Kimso. You of all people, that's a delicious comment, and I love it. Thank you very much again for saying that. That's very good to hear. Says just go for Lisandro Martinez, a proper ball-playing left centre-back. He can play as a left-back and a DM too. I don't know the player that well, but now you're making me, I'm going to go research him. They all haters. That's just the truth. It's why I support. Again, if they hate you, if nobody talks about you, or if you don't get hates, then you're not doing well. Delete will be awesome, but on 200K per week, 416K with bonuses are met. Again, he's still young. Again, the salary will always be an issue, whether you like it or not. But it remains to be seen because of what we heard. Now, it looks like Boehly likes to pay good money for good players, which makes sense. You get what you pay for.
Boehly's complaining about FFP already. This guy.
Would you really say that's a complaint?
The way he was talking, I'm seeing as if, come on, it's his first summer and he's already talking like Kroenke. I'm thinking a lot of red flags. I think this guy finessed us.
I'm not concerned, but we get to that. Let me just finish with the chat quickly. Glenn. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a grenade to throw in the mix. And I know it's going to be another.
Okay, can I just catch up the chat before you do? If you don't mind. Okay, yeah, Glenn. Nice to see you. Glenn says, big up everybody. Bad connection in the car. Have a good Sunday all and keep Aki away from my club. Thank you, Glenn. Nice to hear from you. And again, drive safely. Sorry for the controversy. No worries. You are entitled to your opinion, but we're family here, and everybody in the family felt like you're being too negative. We had to bring you together. We have to, express your opinion, express your dissent, express your disappointment, express your worries, but don't go too fast calling your beloved club names, okay? That's just that we're fighting on the world, babes. Yes, we are. So again, I say 70 million will start a Delete negotiation. Oh, there's a chance that that may well be the case again. After so much disappointment, I'm not rooting or getting attached to any player before they join us. Just wait until the player is announced. And the way we Julius says, delete Kounde, Ramagnoli, good combo there, and I hope we get them. And please just 10 more likes to get to 100 likes if you haven't liked the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, thank you for 3,000 subscribers. We're shooting for 4,000 now, and we can get there. Yep, just 10 more likes. Please keep liking the video. I trusted the Kingslayer. We would. You paid Rudy that much. Again, it says don't throw. Again, back to the panel. Bobby, go ahead, throw the grenade. Let's see.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about the deal for Lukaku, and people were saying, "Oh gosh, there's no way that Inter would listen to a deal with that included Lautaro Martinez." But we have short memories, because before we spent that money on Lukaku, there was talk of going for Lautaro Martinez. Which
would have been a better option.
It would have been a better deal. I would have been so much more happy with that deal. Now, Lukaku had no hesitation walking away from Martinez for big money. So why on earth should Martinez suddenly think, okay, I've got to be loyal to Lukaku here at Inter if he comes, and snob a big money move? I think with the right persuasion, the Lautaro Martinez would come to Chelsea. It's just, would Inter allow that? Money talks.
That's a big question.
Well, they're looking for money, aren't they? It depends on the context of the deal.
Yeah, I get your point. Can I say this quickly? I get your argument there. Now, you said they're looking for money, right? They can make money off Skriniar. And all they need is to show profit of 50 million plus. They can sell Skriniar, they can sell Bastoni, they can sell also Dumfries. But here's my argument now. It wouldn't make sense for them to bring back Lukaku, two of Lukaku's chief creators when he broke all sorts of records at Inter Milan, where what's his name? Where
Hakimi
and Lautaro Martinez. They no longer have Hakimi. The only person that be hopeful who's to have that on-pitch relationship, that's a magical on-pitch relationship with Lukaku, is Lautaro Martinez. So it wouldn't make sense to let him go. Why they want to bring Lukaku back? It becomes an even bigger risk if Martinez leaves. And Lukaku, I'm hearing, if in fact that's the truth, that the deal will be with an obligation to buy, not an option. So it will be an even bigger risk if they get Lukaku and they don't have Martinez, because there's no guarantee he will click with other players in the team, because they've changed a few things around.
Yes, I mean, as I've said, I'm not dying on this hill. I'm just throwing it out there as an example of the sort of negotiation I'm looking for. Now, we're all talking about, Marina's this great negotiator and yada, yada, yada. Now, this is where negotiation skills come from. You've made a mess. You've got to sort this out. And this is where I don't blame her. You need people with the football knowledge. She doesn't understand the knowledge of each of these individual players and what they will bring to the club. We as fans probably know more than she does. So this is where the club, the board come in, and of course Tuchel himself. Now, does he want Martinez? I don't know. Does he want Skriniar? I don't know. I doubt if he wants Dumfries, because we've got people like Dejan Sterling, and I think, in my opinion, my humble opinion, albeit unbiased, I think they're equal to Dumfries, probably even better. So I think, for example, if Tuchel says to the board, look, Lukaku, we want to get rid of him. I have a short list of three players that Inter have that I would like perhaps in the deal. Bastoni, I don't know. I'm always very suspicious of Italian defenders in the Premier League. They haven't really blazed the trail, especially at Chelsea. Skriniar, well, I explained that to you. I think, okay. And of course, Martinez. And if I were Tuchel, I'll say, hey, look, if you can swing something for Martinez, even better. And this is where the skills of negotiation comes in. They want Lukaku for 5 million. We could, for an example, say, right, okay, we'll let you have him for 5 million. You throw in Martinez. Or they say, no, we won't do that. If you're going to do that, hypothetically, we'll give you 1 million. Fine, deal, done. You take him as a swap. Now, you're saying that it is not a good idea for them.
No, and I'm sure they know that.
Yeah,
Of course they know that,
idea.
but it wasn't a good idea for them to get rid of Lukaku in the first place.
But they got money for that.
And
them
they're going to get money for this as well. And the player and Lautaro Martinez is not the only creator in that team. They've got other creators. Or if we want to be generous, I hear there's a midfielder there we quite fancy. We could throw that in the deal. I want to see a negotiation. So far, I have never really said, wow, these people have negotiated something. There's always been hesitation, surrender, and acceptance. We tend to hesitate. A club says, look, a player's worth this. We hesitate. Towards the end of this transfer window, then we end up paying exactly what they asked for, maybe even more. The only time I've seen us show some bottle was with the Jules Kounde situation, where we'd agreed, they upped the ante, we looked at it, and we walked away. That was the right thing to do. And we've come back again. We didn't totally walk off the table, but we're like, hey, look, this isn't what we agreed. And that's right. So in this instance, we want to loan him back, negotiate something. We're saying we don't want to lose out completely. Well, show it. Show your skills of negotiation. You don't get cash, you get player. Do something. And that's what I'm looking for.
Yes, I'll come back to you in a bit. I'll come back to the panel and I'll bring in Rodrigo to speak his mind. Kim, so this is such a delicious comment. She says, Romagnoli is free, but got benched by Tomori, our boy. So again, it wouldn't just make any sort of sense to bring him back or to go for him even on the free. It doesn't make sense. Says Chelsea King, but we would paid, okay, Rudy 200. Says Chelsea could go full of free signing if they are smart. Romagnoli free, Denea free, Tolisso, aka Saul 2.0 is free, and Dembele is free. Again, it remains, but are they going to work? That's where I don't know. But again, another great comment from Kim. So, but before I continue, I want to say we need just 7 more likes to get to 100 likes. We can do that, and we've gained almost 20 subscribers this evening. That doesn't measure usually well. We usually gain 60-something by the end of the show, but there's still a chance. If you haven't, please like the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Sorry, I was busy for a second. I understand we have other priorities in life to look at. David says Lukaku would rather start sending the likes of Zeko. Some friends request on Facebook. I have a feeling Inter might be tempted by good money. Again, we'll see. Spam the channel and you're gone. That's just the truth. I understood what you were saying. And then says that's a conversation between them. And Lebo, nice to see you back, brother. He says, I don't think Marina is more knowledgeable than we are on players. Give her credit. She deserves some credit. Is she perfect? No. Again, none of them are perfect. And again, but the reason why I don't usually blame her, because she's just a negotiator. She's not the one that points at players we want. But I get some people mix it up. Some people blame her for reasons we're not able to sign players, even players that you could argue the club aren't even looking at. So that's something. Subia says, I know she loves Marina. Someone says Marina is a queen. 150 million for Hazard, which 1 year left. Again, that's an absolute deal. Winning the Champions League, we get some money and all that. Again, more belated Marina. Guess what? Bali was making a video call to Inter. We don't even know who is negotiating. Try questioning the former DOF. Again, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Marina is the problem for us. Yeah, again, there you go. Everybody now picking that up. But we're all entitled to our opinion as long as we don't go into name calling. I appreciate that. Yes, people, you guys are absolute legends. Just 4 more likes to get to 100 likes, and we've get a few more subscribers. So if you haven't, please do like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Remember, it's on the treat. Talisha Wasi says, I think we should let Marina go. That's her opinion, but we'll see. Again, she will leave anyway, given that she's Roman Abramovich was trusted. Should I say confident, or how do I phrase it? As she will eventually leave, but she'd be there for the transition period to make these things easier for the new owners. Marina or our scouting department. Again, I'd rather the scouting department, because all Marina does is negotiate. Again, there's a lot of issues to sort out, but we're not here to talk about that today. And my brother, DJ Sav, CFC Blues, happy blue afternoon, Coachella, the panel, and big up everyone in the chat. Nice to see you here, brother. And again, I look forward to what we talked about. I can't wait for that to happen. She negotiates and we don't lose some players. Again, it says, yep. Marina only brought the players as she was told to. That is another way to say it. Exactly, she just deals with contracts. Our scouting department is the problem for our scouting Lukaku instead of a better player. Again, in terms of Lukaku,
you really Lukaku?
Sorry?
Do you really scout a player like Lukaku? I don't really put on the scout.
No, I don't think he was properly scouted. I think it was just the owner wanted him, and some say he sent his son to go talk with him. But here's why I blame the scout, and I also blame Thomas Tuchel too. I've said this like a million times. There's no chance the club will go for the player if the scout, even if they weren't consulted, but when they hear what's happening and say, boss, I know you like this player, but I think he may end up causing us a problem.
Yeah.
You get my point now.
Yeah.
And for Thomas Tuchel, there's no way also for Chelsea to complete the signing of the player without the Thomas Tuchel okaying it. And had he said, Lukaku is good, but look, we created so many chances last season, and the only issue is that we didn't put away our chances. And it wasn't just about Timo Werner. It was all of attacking players missing some clear-cut chances. You could have explained, okay, look, I think we can solve this problem without going for a traditional striker. If we bring in a traditional striker, it will cause more problems, because now we're playing with the player who's used to be, a focal point, which means we need to change the way we play. Dynamism, or should I say dynamism, or what's it called again? Fluidity out of the window, because we have to play to the strength of the player to get the best out of him. Other than that, it may not work. 150 million for Hazard, 60 million for Costa, Oscar, Morata, 40 million, Matis, 70 for Havertz, not 10, 15 million. I could go on. Yes, I understand Marina has done quite well, but people still, find a reason to blame them. And everybody, we're all entitled to our opinions. It's as simple as that. Streetbeer, how are you? Great. Okay, just saying hello to Streetbeer. That's good. She's saying Bali should hire scouts from the Red Bulls club. They seem to find hidden talents everywhere. If you're talking about you're talking about the youth, maybe a mix of a mix of scouts from Red Bull, and then scouts that
our youth scout has been really good, to be honest. Our academy has produced some really good.
Of late, do you think the same? Do you think the same of late?
Of late, I don't know. I haven't really kept in touch with the academy side, but from the players that come out, the generation of Mount and the generation of Colwell and Harvey Vale, I think we can say we brought up some really good youngsters. Yeah, I don't know about the current one now. I don't know who's shining.
Yeah, understood. So I'm just going to come to you right now. Your thoughts on, we've talked about Raheem Sterling. I think we've come to the conclusion there's a chance it's absolute nonsense There's no truth to it. But
Yeah.
before Rodrigo starts talking, please, we have just 5 more likes to get to 100 likes. If you haven't, please take a second to like the video. Go ahead, Rodrigo.
I'm very skeptical with the price tag that is being quoted. £35 million. I mean, does he have 1 year left on his contract? Is that right? Sterling.
I'll check for you. Just go ahead. I'll find out. I'll let you know.
So,
2 years?
Yes,
Okay.
1 year.
Oh, okay. So that to me is one of them. It's too good to be true. 1 year left on his contract, £35 million, and City selling him to a direct rival. That is too good to be true. But if it's a deal that could happen, I'll be really, really happy to get Sterling in. He is better than all our attackers. He'll improve our team. Obviously, there's also a thing of Sterling missing chances. I agree with that. But the one way Sterling might improve us again. One thing, my reserve on Sterling is always his motivation. I don't know if he's still hungry enough to come to Chelsea and to compete, because does he see Chelsea as a step down, or does he what does he see Chelsea as? Because if he comes here and he thinks he's a big guy, he doesn't need to be told anything. He comes in and dominates everyone in the dressing room. We're gonna have another Lukaku on our hand. So I don't know. I really hope the price that's been quoted is correct, and that he himself sees this as a challenge. Maybe he sees this as, let me come to Chelsea, let me give them that first Premier League, like their first Premier League since 2017, and obviously if he has something to prove to Pep, saying, look, you let me go, look what I'm doing now, and I'm gonna hurt your team. So that again, I hope he has that sort of attitude that he has something to prove still. But I've got that inkling feeling that maybe he's just a money guy. Maybe he's just motivated by getting as much money as he can. Yeah.
Yeah, why I'm still with you, Rodrigo. Your thoughts on this the question on the screen, because we'll address a few chats, and then we get to talking about Savic.
Okay. For me, I don't trust Todd Bowley. I don't trust the private equity firm.
Already.
For the sake of my sanity, I don't think we will get anyone of note this summer. If we do, then great. So I'm sort of like disconnecting on them. But to answer this question, you would have thought Kounde would have been the first one. You would have thought Dembele would have been, but I don't know. I've seen too many red flags. Yeah. If I speak, I'm in trouble.
No. You have every right to speak your mind.
Yeah. Because I knew from time where the reason I was happy with the club being sold and so on is because I was scared that our club will go extinct once these guys close the deal. I was like, all right, I'll see, at least our club will carry on functioning. But the only thing that really doubts is that private equity. For me, a private equity firm, the way they function, thank you. Yeah, the way private equity function doesn't really sit well with me. They're all about making profit, and a private equity, you have to justify spending £200 million on football players. To some people in America, that really, it's not a thing for them. It doesn't make sense. You really have to come up with a strong case. So that's why I'm I don't want to be too much of a downer. So but in terms of a player that we might get, let's say Kounde. I think Kounde might happen. I think that will happen.
I guess
Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Remember, Romelu Lukaku put the anti-Glazer clause there. So if our new owners need to make profit, they need to invest heavily. So that.
No, but it's a tobacco, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's tobacco. Yeah.
But if you look at the way he's talking about enhancing Chelsea commercial appeal. So they will find a way to use this club to make it more commercially viable. I don't think the idea of like they have to spend so much money on players. I don't know.
But again, Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Rodrigo.
Yeah.
let me put this in a business sense. Would you invest huge money in a business and then not expecting profit?
Of course not. Of course, I want profit.
No, that's the first thing actually.
That's the
But
first thing. Yeah.
yeah,
But
no,
yeah, maybe because I'm used to Abramovich, where profit and passion came first, because he used this as his pet project. Maybe
I feel
was
bad
spoiled.
for you.
I'm back to reality.
Yeah, I really do feel bad for you. And again, let me check the poll we have here that asks, should Chelsea sign Aki? 59% said no, and 41% says yes. So I'm going to try and catch up here. I am a big Chelsea fan. Nice to see you here, Anthony Marino. And if you haven't, please, Anthony, please do like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. If you're watching, we have 90 people watching still and 97 likes, just three more likes to get to 100 likes. So if you haven't, please do take a second to like the video. That will go a long way. And thank you very much for 97 likes. That's not easy, actually, but 3 more to get it to 100. And again, if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. So Anthony Marino, welcome to the channel. Says, yeah, I know he meant it was a typo. It happens to all of us. The smart devices, and that's smart. After all, I think we know that already. Says Teslim Sterling deal might just be Ballis first signing. You don't know, but we'll find out. Sorry if upset anyone, but I don't want Sterling even if he was on a free. Wow. No, it's your opinion. There's no, again, you don't have to be, be sorry, bro. That's why we're here. We express ourselves as long as we're civil about it. We're respectful of each other. Just express yourself. Just give us Tuchel's choices. Yep, that's a delicious comment. Just give us Tuchel's choices. Any player that Tuchel wants, I'm for it. If he goes to the players I didn't expect him to get, I'll be surprised. But what option do I have? Just support my club. My club comes first.
Coach, don't you think going forward in the future, we need to have a working relationship between a director of football and the coach? Because look at Liverpool, for example. I don't know how true this is. Apparently, when Liverpool signed Mo Salah, apparently Klopp wanted Julian Brandt, but the club or whatever the structure they had at Liverpool, they convince him, like, oh, no, actually, Mo Salah will be better for your team. Maybe what we need as well is, obviously, not getting Tuchel everything that you need, but obviously, if we have people that understand Tuchel's philosophy, they understand his idea, Tuchel come over a player, because he's a manager. He doesn't spend, I don't know how much he spends on scouting other players. He has too much on his plate to do anyways. So maybe if we had a director of football, a really good structure, whereby he come up with names and then they can come up with an alternative and convince him. And listen, the structure that you brought up, we find another guy who fits your characteristic, and this is why he will fit in better with the style that you want to implement. I really hope these, with the new owners, hopefully, I don't expect that this summer. Yeah, this summer we're not gonna have the infrastructure, the structure that. No, maybe next year. Maybe in 2 years' time, we're going to have someone there, a link between Tuchel and the owners, and Tuchel having a good relationship with that person. Because that's key.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, guys. I need to pop out. If I can, I'll pop up here.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. I understand. Yeah.
Rodrigo, you mentioned a good point there. We really need a sporting director, but I hope during this transitional period, we're going to get a one after maybe some people left the club. Again, also, since Mikel Milano left Chelsea, we've been spending big on players. So that's the issue I'm having now. Before that, we're buying players with a good price, and then we managed to buy players that will, if they won't work out, we'll be able to sell them. So since Emiliano left Chelsea, we've been wasting a lot of money. So hopefully things will change.
I remember back in the days, if you go on Chelsea forums, people were calling for Emenalo head. I remember that. Oh, in hindsight, life in hindsight. I remember
there are people that still don't like him. There are people that still don't like him.
Yeah, because he had this, when he brought a bunch of Belgian players and signed Oscar from nowhere. I think he had the philosophy that I don't know why he fell off with Abramovich, but I think we need someone like that. Obviously, someone like that can work with Tuchel. Yeah.
All right. Here, Glenn right now is he's looking for everybody's trouble. He says, "How is 35 million for one Sterling a good deal?"
Can I pay 1 shilling?
Glenn, you. Oh my goodness! Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I remember players like Oscar, Hazard, Mata, Sheila, you name them. Good young players. Oh man, we need that.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised actually that Conte. I'm surprised that Conte let Oscar go. But let me catch up, Rodrigo. Just quickly, I'll come back to you guys. I don't want it to be too long. I've read that Matt Babes again says, "What's today's date? Isn't it the first? Is it the 1st of July?" I don't know. Ask people in the chat. Love higher mathematics. Samsung 11 Chelsea are not serious in signing any players for the new season because he didn't see any serious about transfer issues of the new season. Again, let me see anything here. There's something I saw from DJ I wanted to read. And DJ South says a City wants 60 million. That's exactly how much they want. But Chelsea are offering 35 million. So it might be add-ons and number of appearances and how many trophies he wins. Don't rule out Dembele. He still don't rule out Dembele. His deal is a done deal. I know. Okay. I understand. But in terms of Sterling, we're still thinking that it's absolute nonsense. If it is the truth, I'll be surprised. No, I understand. Sorry, not a dead deal. I understand. But I get that. Hot TS wanting. Okay. Says losing out on top 4 would definitely hurt our profits. So we must keep improving. I think Bolle himself understands that winning is important, even if you're for profits. That's just the truth. Chelsea are offering 35 for Sterling. City 160. So I might be a number of appearances. I think I've read that before, something similar. And Lee, thumbs up for you. And I'm going to skip that. How did I get to that? Glenn. Yeah, Glenn again comes in with one of his those comic reliefs. It says, let me see. I think I'm going to skip quite a few here. Do I have to? Let me see what we have here. So it doesn't seem everybody here. Matis 35 million for Sterling is an amazing deal for a player who counts as homegrown. Yeah, I think maybe he misunderstood Glenn's comment. So that's why he's responding for this. But I get your argument. I am not a huge fan of wanting Sterling, but for the price, I'd welcome it. Here's the thing. If you say Sterling is nonsense, if you say he can't play, I don't want him at any price. If a player if I believe a player isn't good enough for the club, I don't want him even for free. That's just the truth. The Air Tobago, I don't know who comes up here and said that Juve now wants Koulibaly. Okay. That's what DJ says. The price is good. It's still really, the wages are what worries me. Again, that's the truth. The wages is high. It remains to be seen whether the club will accommodate that quickly. Yet, he's no doubt on 300,000 a week. I'm not sure I'd want him. So, yeah, if you don't want him, say you don't want him, don't just take him because, they say it's for cheap. Again, Emelala, who identified okay, forget the name. Jibuluji Rahman Bakayoko Baswai. Do I need to go on and get a grip? Again, it's an argument. He's not perfect, but he's gotten us a few good players too. But again, there's an argument for and against Emelalo, and I'm not for any. Oscar got tired by halftime, no stamina. You think, probably because he runs a lot, if you want to argue that. 103 likes actually. So thank you guys. The queen of all streams says thank you for the likes. We sincerely do appreciate that. And while you're at it, if you haven't, do take a second to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're growing and we get to 4,000 subscribers as soon as possible. A romance friend had the South American contacts. Oscar was the star of the 2012 Olympic in London. Yep, that's the truth. And Oscar did well for us. I think he's only one of few. He's an exception from players we've signed straight from South America who did well at the club.
I think he's
he's an exception from that list because all others you could argue haven't done quite well. I says Oscar, who along with Hazard, Shaw, Willian helped us win titles. Oscar was brilliant. I loved him. I think he's the baby killer. They call him the baby face killer because he's even when he's on his bad day, if he gets a chance, he puts the ball back in the back of the net.
Was the original Mount. Oscar was the original Mason Mount.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. He's actually a better finisher than Mount, if you ask me. Again, that's me. I'm not even sure why Conte let him go. Again, that's why with what we've talked about here, every manager wants their own player. It says, Subia says, oh, sorry, I went offline for a while. My Wi-Fi given me trouble. Let me just be nice because you shamed me in public and I haven't forgiven you. I was going to say something else, but that's by the way. Right now we have 104 likes. You guys are absolute legend. Thank you. And thank you again. I cannot thank you enough. Please keep liking the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It says Oscar class got it when he left. It was a big mistake, but because Conte didn't want him. And he's always talked about Chelsea. Whenever Chelsea's playing, he's always supported the team. Don't bring up Andre Schürrle, please. I don't know. Schürrle, you could argue, was probably unlucky. I'm not sure what the issue with him was. Tribia, because he had the chance to look after his large family, cannot criticize him, sorry. But then again, we wanted to sell him. It was big money that we got from him. But I think a manager that loved him that much would have tried to keep him. But that's, by the way, I wish him well. And that's the time he says, actually, if he's going to come back to Europe, he wants it to beat Chelsea. That's how much he loved Chelsea. And I do love him as a player. His debut is something I will never forget. But that's, by the way, coming back to the panel, Rodrigo, I want to start you with this player here. Look at him and look at him again. I think he's a player I want at the club for obvious reasons. He's good. And I'm hearing that his agent is Kežman. Or is it Kežman or Kežman? I forgot the spelling.
Kežman.
Yeah. Former Chelsea player, although you could argue he didn't have his career. It wasn't, again, his time at Chelsea wasn't the best. Some argue he's a flop. But what do you think about him overall?
I like him. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't seen him a lot, but I've seen him a few times. I watched the Roma derby, and I've like the Serie A. I don't watch. I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch that many games. I watched the big flashy game. He seems to be again from. Now I do all my scouting on YouTube, so YouTube puts all his best clips. So from what I can see, he's very good. He's a very good player. But if you give me a choice between him and Declan Rice, I'll go for Declan Rice. Because Declan Rice, at least I've watched Declan Rice actually play. But
you're talking about the DM position.
How much are they saying? How much are they saying for this guy?
I think it's around 40-something, which is cheap.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
40-something or 30-something, which is, we could argue, really cheap. And how old is he again? I'm going to check that for you. But 27, so he's in his prime, you could argue. But believe me, he's such a fine player. And even if we're signing Declan Rice, I think he's still fitting. We'd still have a place for him. He's such a good player. And time to go. It's been another great show. Keep the blue flag flying high, says Lee. Lee, I love you so much and thank you for always supporting the channel. And I can't thank you enough. I appreciate you. And be safe, brother, wherever you're leaving to do. So, your thoughts. Where does he fit in our team?
Okay. Milinkovic-Savic plays. I'm here.
Let's start with the class since he just joined us back. If you don't mind,
Sorry,
are you okay?
I subbed in for Bobby. Yeah. No, I thought you opened it up for whoever wanted to talk about it. And that's why
But you can go ahead. Are you okay with that,
Yeah.
Tobago?
No problem.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I love Tobago. Yeah, I was gonna say, I followed Savic when all the hype happened. I think it was a couple of years ago when they were demanding big money when he was Lazio's best player. He was a bit younger then, that's why the hype was there. But he's now matured, settled down. There's always going to be a risk with this type of player that looks so good on the ball in the Serie A, and how is he going to adapt? But characteristic-wise, he's very versatile. He can hold, he can go up. He's an attacking threat when he actually goes up. He distributed the ball. He's comfortable in the ball. He looks good in in the Serie A, but I questioned, how would he do in the Premier League, and how much would you pay for a player like this?
You know he's physical, right?
Yeah, he's a big boy.
And he's physical
it's not about.
He's able to use his build quite well.
It's not the physicality that I was worried about. It's the speed, because he looks so comfortable. And when he played under Simeone, he had the same. Simeone played the same way as Conte does, very similar, right? And as that person that sits, so he'll be comfortable in the formation to a certain degree, one of the two sitters, and but Simeone played free in there, so he didn't do a Jorginho role. He did what like Coven that would do, right? And it goes back to the argument. Well, in that role we got Kova, Kante, and everything. In there's some hope that maybe he could hold and do what Jorginho did, Jorginho does, and that would be our priority for that type of player we're after. If we can get this guy on the cheap, because I don't know if you guys remember, his name was big a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
Or I think it was before COVID. Yeah, it was 2-3. Like what he was doing at 20, 23, 24, everyone was saying he was going to cost 80 mil or something like that. It was insane, and now his name has been out of the.
Sorry, Declan. Would you say?
Yeah.
From what you've seen, do you say he's a bit like a Matic, a bit more mobile than Matic? Or how would you?
Way more mobile than Matic.
No.
If I had to compare him to a player,
yeah.
Who do I think of as the ultimate?
I think skills.
I mean, I'm thinking Yaya Toure in a little bit. It just look.
Yes.
He's versatile. He's good on the ball. He's a big guy. Maybe even say like a bigger Rodri's a big compliment, I think. But I mean, that's how good he looks in the Serie A. Like he's a big boy that's good on the ball, and when he gets near around the box, he can actually be a threat. So that's how you got to think of it.
3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, he plays in the 3. Sarri plays for 3-3.
No. Traditionally, they play. Sarri prefers 4-3-3.
Yeah,
and he plays.
But
he plays on the right hand side of the midfield 3.
Yeah, he's mostly played in a 3-5-2 under Simeone. I think Sarri is this Sarri's second season? I think that's why he hasn't looked as good. Yeah, so when he played under Simeone, and I think he played under another coach, he looked better than he does under Sarri, and I think that's why the links have come up that he's not doing well. I to be honest, I'm not sure if Sarri's using him as what he did with Jorginho. It doesn't look like it, because he's the guy. He almost looks like the guy.
No, he's not a register.
Yeah. So if he did play that role, that would be a good test to know if he could do Jorginho role.
I think he could, but he's capable of, because I've seen him on occasions. Even I've watched because I like watching Sarri's teams, given the way they play, just for entertainment's sake. I think even in tight spaces, even when you have 3, 4 people on him, he has the confidence to try to dribble his way out. Have the space to play his way out, and he's not the one that if you pressure him, he panics. Go ahead.
that's exactly what I mean, and that's the problem I have at the moment. Good player for what you just described. What you just described is what Kovacic and Loftus-Cheek does as well. So, do we need another one? I mean, Kante plays. He's not the same characteristic, but they all hold the same similar role.
Difference. I think defensively, I think you could argue Savic can do better. They can offer more defensively than Kovacic does. In terms of physicality, I think he offers more than that. And you could argue Loftus-Cheek actually doesn't use his body that as much as he should. You get the point now.
Yeah, I
think we can still have him in the team, even though we have Kovacic, even though we have Loftus-Cheek. That's my that's me.
The question is, can you play him with cover?
I think you can. Especially if you're going to play 4-3-3, I think you can play them together.
No. Don't worry about 4-3-3. Don't change it now, coach. And how we play now, do you think you can?
How we play now in the midfield too? I think in the pivot 2-6s, I think you can still play him in cover, and him being more disciplined. I think it will work. Again, that's how I think. I could be wrong, but given how I've seen him operate, I think he should be able to fulfill the role of the most disciplined of the 2-6s. Because I think we've talked about that, and that's when I realized, wait, Kovacic is actually fulfilling the 6 role as a number 8, a hybrid of 6-8, because he's never stationed. He's always going forward, moving from there. But you get my point. I think he can, if you ask me.
Yeah, he can. And go back to another point. If we do go to 4-3-3, that's when only one of them get in there. You can put if we played 4-3-3, you can put Mount, Connor, even Havertz can drop in the midfield. It limits the people. But the fact that we haven't is why.
Yeah, and in the 4-3-3, we need someone to sit at the base. Is he gonna sit there or Jorginho?
I feel like
go ahead, Declan.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would sound like we're very limiting him if we keep him in just a full holding role. It's the same reason Sarri hasn't limited him too. So I'm not sure. I don't think it ticks the boxes completely for me. I mean, the biggest problem we have in the midfield is when Jorginho doesn't play, we don't look good because no one's as comfortable as him on the ball, and so it should be someone with this that can do that. And you know what? If Savic can do it, then that's great. Then that gives us more than what we got. So that's the question you should be asking. Because I said Rice could probably do half of what Jorginho does too. And Rice can also be that defensive that we don't even need 3 centre-backs anymore. And we can take one out and have him there and do the similar roles. And then add another midfielder. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm really going to focus on the preseason to see that. I think we'll get a good idea. I think everyone should watch. Coach, if you're really craving for a system change, you might see a little bit in the preseason.
Yeah, you'll see a hint of what the manager's planning to do during the season proper, during the preseason.
Yeah. So
yeah, Rodrigo, your thoughts on Savic?
Yeah, I just read this profile here. People comparing, like what the class says, like Yaya Toure, Zidane are here as well. But
Zidane.
But, the comparison with Yaya to Yaya Toure means I think he'd be more happy staying closer to the final third than asking him to stay disciplined. Go ahead.
Yeah, or to bomb, to like literally be the one box to box, like bombing up. Yeah, another advantage, obviously, having someone that's 6'3" is maybe is good at defending set plays and attacking them as well. Because our team lack height in midfield. We lack an imposing player in the midfield area. We haven't had it obviously since Matic left.
And he can be that guy.
He can be that guy. So, and for me again, a good thing as well is the price compared to Declan Rice. If Rice's price was cheaper, I'd take Rice over this guy. I think Rice is better suited to us. I think Rice will provide us, like what Declan said, we won't need to necessarily play with a third centre back. Rice, you have Rice in there. Rice can fulfill that role. But yeah.
Yeah, how about you, Tobago?
Milinkovic-Savic. I love this player because I watch a lot of Serie A. So if you get him, I won't mind him. What I love about him is so good on the ball. He's so confident. I mean. So, but again, if we are able to get him, we'd rather sell one of our midfielder because like we won't have enough space for him, and we have likes of Mbadu, Gilmore, Kalagalaga. We have so many players are coming in. So I'd rather have him if you're able to sell either Jorginho or Gandhi. But if you can sell him anyhow, man, wow.
But Tobago, you say you watched the Serie A, yeah? Would you say
Yes.
Jorginho, when he was at Napoli, had a better career in Serie A than this guy?
Yes.
And
Can you explain it, Tobago?
Jorginho with Napoli.
Jorginho under Sarri.
Yeah.
Remember, under Sarri at Napoli, he controlled the tempo just like the way he is doing at Chelsea. He's doing everything.
Okay,
So
and
what
he won what at Napoli?
Nothing.
It's
And then,
simple.
okay, coach.
You just
then-
answered your question.
Let's see one word. Let's say one word under Sarri now.
Sorry?
You said Jorginho won nothing at Napoli. So
Yeah.
what Milinkovic-Savic won in Syria?
Nothing too. I don't know if he's won anything. I don't know, but nothing.
Okay.
Here's the thing: you ask, you feel like Jorginho had his best time at Napoli. I don't think so. If you ask him, he'd tell you otherwise. He'd tell you too that it wasn't at Napoli. Chelsea has given him more.
You see, the reason I asked that is because I want to know, because obviously I want to compare how good this guy really is. If you telling me Jorginho was so key in Serie A, I don't know if they played a similar position, and then we seen Jorginho in our team. So I'm trying to extrapolate. If we bring this guy in, how would that translate? Because the Serie A, I don't think people press you in the Premier League the way.
Here's one thing you have to consider, Rodrigo. You check a player's attribute first of all. He's physical, and he's quick thinking too. If you look at it, so those factors already, I think he'd be able to adapt quicker. There'll be an adaptation time, that's for sure. But I don't think it'd be a problem going forward. Mm-hmm. Like it takes most people too much time. Like Jorginho will never change.
No.
He will never change. But for instance, we understand sometimes he can be quick thinking, sometimes he can be too slow. Sometimes when opposition press him too hard, he becomes useless on the pitch. You get my point now. So, but in the case of Savic, you can see that fight in him. You can see he's not afraid, to put in his body. He's not afraid to try to get away from when you have 2-3 players on him. You even think he's lost the ball, he still finds a way. That's a huge difference. So you can say he has those factors that usually cost so many players who move from Serie A, Bundesliga, or the forget the Dutch league, forget the Red, whatever that one is. That makes it difficult for them to adapt in the Premier League. You get my point now. So go ahead with what you're saying.
No, let Tobacco finish. I think he had.
Yeah, go ahead, Tobacco. You were saying something.
No, I'm good. But what I say, like, the difference between Jorginho and Milinkovic-Savic is that Jorginho controls the tempo of the team. So Milinkovic-Savic, I haven't seen him do the Jorginho work. But what I love about him, he's so confident on the ball. So we need players that will be confident on the ball rather than players that will give away position easily. So, yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, and it seems like this guy is one of those players they get linked to every club and every fan base really want him in that team, but for some reason he never get that move. So because I hear United also want him.
Yes, for 80 million.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm hearing it's for much less. He's available for much less, and I'm hoping if we really want
Have
him,
you checked your DM?
hopefully, yeah, I've checked it. I'm going to share it again. Thank you for that update, and hopefully, the fact that his agent is a former Chelsea player, maybe that makes a huge difference. And right now we have 58 people, 59 people watching, and we have 106 likes. And if you haven't, please take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Here says, Absolute Chelsea says, Chelsea are growing in confidence that they can complete a deal for Manchester City forward Raheem Sterling. Do you trust the club? Do you trust the Athletic UK? Because they're referencing Athletic UK.
Barely trust any of them, to be honest. But you know, the Athletic. Let me remind you, Athletic is an interesting one. They were pushing why we didn't pass to Lukaku, and they're really pro Lukaku. So I guess whichever player gives them the news, maybe they stick by them. So, but the Athletic are well known, and it probably does hold more weight than some other sites. And but they are very pro English players, so they would like to see this deal go through because it is Raheem Sterling, an English player. But growing confident is not it doesn't mean anything, to be honest.
I think they've changed from monitoring interested. Now I think
to personal terms agreed to now Barcelona is in for him, and it's they make 10 news articles out of this. So much money out of nothing, out of playing Chinese whispers.
Yeah,
if that's saying, do you guys have that saying too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, there are stages to the rumors. Now, just are growing confident to sign. The fact is, again, I'm going to repeat myself here. There's no telling who the club, who Chelsea are really looking at. And until something happens, there's something on the tweet stream here. There's something I saw that I really liked. For sure, when the floodgate opens, you're going to see a lot of signings from Chelsea Football Club, and I still do believe that will happen. And if you're in the chat, I have shared the Twitter link of Rodrigo, and also I think, have I shared that of Declan? I've shared that of DJ. I'll share the Twitter link of DJ of Declan, so you can go follow him. So you were saying something. Go ahead. Please make sure to go follow all the people in the panel. I'm sharing the links to their profiles. Please be sure to go follow them. Go ahead. Who was saying something?
£1 billion for a release clause for Vinicius Jr. Football's going crazy.
Yeah, but again, how do we know that is the truth? And if he agrees, then he's stupid himself. Go ahead.
Since the Neymar deal, I think clubs realize, because obviously no one ever thought a club would pay £220 million for a player. Because that was the release clause. But now I've noticed that a lot of clubs in La Liga, like Pedri has a ridiculous release clause as well. Like 800 million or something like that.
Yeah, again, we'll see what happens. Coming back to the panel, I think we should call it a day at this point. But I'll start with you, Tobago. What your thoughts on everything we've talked about today?
My thoughts about everything we talk about, again and again. Chelsea fans should be patient. You know, the transfer just begin on the 10th. So we need to be patient with our new owners and then the board. Hopefully they'll sign players soon so that the Chelsea fans can be relieved and stuff. And then what we talk about today, Nathan Aki, man, is a good player, but I don't think he'll fit into our team. But if Tuchel wants him, cool, I'm fine with it. And then the links with Sterling. Oh man, what I love this player, but my issue now, we are getting rid of Lukaku. earning 325k per week. Now, Sterling already earns 300 at Man City. So, how much will he demand at Chelsea? Will he take a pay cut? I don't know. So, wait and see. And then thank you for being here.
Can you
And then
tell us about your channel, your plans when you expect to launch it?
I'll launch it as soon you are back from your holiday, because I want you to be there so that you'll be able to help me with many things that I don't understand yet.
Okay, I'll be out just for a week. I won't be long, so sorry about that. But I think we'll start working on it even now that I'm still available, and probably we can still be talking and be working on it. Maybe launch when I get back. I'm excited and I'm looking forward to it. Rodrigo, your thoughts on everything we've talked about today? I know you've joined the Bali outbound wagon, or not yet?
I am. I'm the train conductor. I'm fully bully out. I don't know.
All aboard.
Yeah, I'm bully out. Well, let's be okay. All right, I understand that the transfer window is only just opened, and I want to see some activities. I want to see that this club is serious about competing with City and Liverpool. I think we this summer we have a great chance to catch up with Liverpool at least, because I believe them losing Mane makes them weaker. I know they've signed this kid from Benfica, but we don't know how, because Mane gets you those clutch goals. So this is your opportunity. Come on, Boli. Open the wallet. Talk to your people. I know he just.
Have you watched the Fabrizio Romano video where he says Chelsea? That is basically saying that Chelsea are well and truly at work, and again will make some signings. And it will, considering Petr Cech's comments also, I think Chelsea are just keeping their cards close to the chest. If you ask me,
I hope so. I hope so. All this gives me a bit of positivity, because I said I was about to take a sabbatical on not the transfer, but I think I'll wait. But
sabbatical is the best thing you can do now.
I should do that, shouldn't I?
Yeah, it's a massive anxiety party. Why would you want to be a part of this for?
Yeah, but
everyone's just crying.
Yeah, but in terms of the players that obviously we discussed today, I would take Raheem Sterling. I think he's better than all the attackers that we have. My only worry was his motivation. Is he just a money man, or is he coming here because he still has something to prove to Pep and to the league and say, right, listen, I'm still the guy and I can win Chelsea a league title. So if he has that hunger in him, the motivation, and it's a World Cup year, so maybe. But the only thing I don't like is the World Cup is in November, so maybe he's gonna be motivated for half a year, and then after that he put his fist up. In terms of who else, Dembele, I think I agree. I think someone was saying obviously he can't come out and say to a person that's asking him about, are you saying Barcelona or leaving? Him saying,
because he's still under contract there.
Yeah, and he say, I'm gonna leave. What if you get attacked? What if the fan is a Barca fan and start throwing stuff at his car? So you can even see his face. He didn't say confidently oh yes, I'm staying or I'm leaving. He just said it as I'm staying, and he just drove away. Yeah, but Dembele I think Dembele and Sterling. I think we should get both Dembele and Sterling. They will both improve us. Yeah, and then obviously the last one is this Savic guy. I'll be honest, I've watched few games, and from what I hear, from what Declare you said, from what you said, Coach, hopefully, I think it's a guy that can come in. Maybe he's gonna improve us. But the only midfield I want to see coming through the door is Declan Rice.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just saw something. Yeah, I understand everything you said, but I just saw something in the chat that really broke my heart, and I don't really want to read it. I think it's Sylvia saying something that she's dying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's not this one, but I'm the queen of all. Yep, you're the queen of all streams. Yes, but I'm the queen of all chats, but secretly love whispering in the background. I am evil father said, for me, never give up power. Again, this is a more, not this one. I think there's also something there, and I don't think, I hope it's a joke. Let me see what she says. Something here, because better than me, says, I'm dying. I'm not sure. I hope it's just a joke. Please let me know if that's the case. You know how much.
Come on, don't.
Yeah, I know how much. And then she followed it up because people wonder why I drink so much. I have limited time. That's why I'm thinking it's not a joke. I think she says it's not a joke. But just understand, more importantly, she's joking, right? And she said no.
Oh, okay. Take care of yourself.
One thing is sure, you know how much I love you deep down. You know how much I love you, respect you, and I don't call you Queen of Four Streams just for the sake of it, because you go around supporting all Chelsea channels. You even donate, you know, to most of them, you know, and I've asked you to stop donating to Chelsea Perspective. You keep doing it, and you say you're doing it for the love you have for the club. Believe me, what you just told us broke my heart, but all I can say is just stay strong. I don't have much details about what's happening to you, but again, clearly you're enjoying your life and you're enjoying talking to people. You enjoy, you know, talking about Chelsea. Maybe that, you don't know, that will buy you more time. But again, I'm so sorry to hear that, but we'll talk more in private. I just don't want to break down right now because that breaks my heart. I have to be honest with you, and that's who I am. Sorry to hear that, really. And Liam here says, a great stream again today. Catch, enjoy the rest of the show. Bro, enjoy the rest of your day. And if you can see in the background of the stream, you're seeing something scrolling, updates from big names that cover Chelsea transfer stories. And if you're there, just inbox me via Twitter. Give me all the names I should add to it. I have this, not somebody copied him. I think I have Simon Phillips. I have gold.com. Somebody, Nizak himself retweeted there. So that's why you're seeing gold.com. There's also PYS. There are other people that I've added there. But let me know anybody you think I should add to it to make it even more interesting or to bring more news on Chelsea for Chelsea Football Club. Again, with that, we've come to the end of the show, and I can't thank those on the panel enough. I've shared the link to the Twitter profile so you can go follow them. Please do go follow them. Again, much love to everybody in the chat, on the panel. In the chat includes the Queen of Four Streams herself, Strip Beer, much love to you. The Queen of Chelsea Perspective, Just Viola, much love to you. Glenn, Trubley, everyone else, you know, if I miss your name, apologies. It's because I'm only a human. Of course, I'm not perfect, and my screen freezes again. Every time I want to end the show, it happens, but I think it's back. With that, again, pay attention. Please always follow the automated show. It will come on in, I think, around 2 hours from now as this one ends. Like I said, I may jump in every now and then to talk about any breaking news that I see. But please, even if it's dropping a like on it, that will go along with it. With that, we've come to the end of the show. See you guys tomorrow for another Blue Morning Show. And where is the intro? Again, I don't know what I'm doing because what Sylvia just told us honestly broke my heart. See you guys later. Cheers and God bless us all. Bye.
Good time.